All right. Guys, we are here with episode 2. Episode 2 of this lovely game. Hopefully, things go smoothly. I can only hope as such. How's everybody doing, first and foremost, just to kind of get everybody into the moment here?
Great.
I'm
Excited.
great.
Yes, you know, Ello, you are great. Ello was not going to be having a camera this evening because his camera broke. So we will not have a camera this evening for him, but short of that, he's still here. And
I'm still here. No Cam lives matter, okay?
Cam is gone for today, but I think he said he'll be back next week, right?
Yeah, actually, it should be here like tomorrow. The
Cool.
new camera. Though I've been really enjoying. Oh my god.
Just gonna pour one out for your homies there.
Did anyone catch that? What language was that?
I can't understand
Yeah, I can't
that.
understand a word.
It's like trying to listen to someone speak Scottish. Like, what are they saying?
It's just so high pitched.
Did she say macrame?
I think she said macrame.
I think she said gerbil.
Yes, to echo the chat. What?
Put some apps in chat to pay some respects. Sorry.
That's
I didn't
the
realize
voice
the
of
voice
Peck.
modulator was like on that setting.
Oh.
So I apologize to you all. That's why I was all serious. I don't know what y'all are talking about.
It sure sounded like it.
Good.
I was serious about it.
There's no other way that I can expect things to go. So we're gonna pick this up with a kind of a bit of what happened last time. We had some introductions, but I'd love to see what you guys can come up with. Why don't you tell me, anyone here, take point, tell me some of the things that occurred in our last session. Anyone?
Well, there was this dog.
There was a dog. Yeah.
The dog is still alive, which is not a statement that we thought we'd be making, but it.
For now. For now, yes.
It's raining. It's dark. There was thunder, but no longer thunder. A bunch of misfits met up in a town square and made their way to a funeral procession, basically.
Yeah.
Mm.
Curious. Does anybody remember the name of the dog?
Hap?
Hap. Yeah. Very good. Very
It's in
good.
my notes.
Perfect.
But do we know that the dog's name is Hap?
Let's
There's
see.
a
my
sign
notes, too.
hanging from the
Torvin.
gazebo.
Torvin and Rye. They passed by, seeing that there was a sign that said Hap, and he had scraps. So yes, at least
Needed
some
a
of you
corn
did.
a toy as well.
Were they Hap scraps?
They were Hap's scraps. Yes. They were,
See,
in
I
fact.
feel like Rye is getting a bad rap for this. He's just not a very good reader. He thought the sign said E.
Oh,
He didn't know it said that. He didn't know it said
I
Hap.
get like a buffet. Oh,
Can't
well,
eat it if
I
it
mean,
has
That's
a
not
name,
his fault, guys. Okay, he's just a bad reader.
I don't know. I
That
still
checks out.
wanted you to eat the dog. So
it checks out. Okay. I mean, I'm not mad. I was surprised, but I'm not mad. Sometimes these things happen.
Come to the dark side, Rye.
Oh
Oh
Lord.
my God, that voice is insane.
that's a good one.
Yeah, that's a really good one.
A little bit of backpedaling for sure, but that's all right. We're getting to see the sort of character that Rye is, and I think it's nice. We did have an introduction to the characters.
I mean Malcolm, okay?
Yeah, excuse me, Malcolm. Later introduced himself to Karen.
Karen,
Kendra?
yeah, Karen.
as
Poor
Rye.
Kendra.
Yes, as Rye. Still to be determined.
Can we just rename her Karen? Can that just be like new?
Can we put a haircut like on the take the drawing?
Yes,
like a
like-
Karen.
Karen haircut. Yes.
I'm gonna take a back seat on this one.
You started it. You should be like riding that train, chugging down the track.
Yeah,
know
but I
what?
feel like if I'm too enthusiastic, that Bub will feel pressured too.
Okay, all right.
Oh,
You're
I'm
right, so I was
not
gonna-
gonna buckle here. This is definitely Kendra. It's Kendra Lorimore through and through.
What if we can get 100 gift subs tonight? Can it be Karen?
We've already received like 25.
100
So
from right now.
Does that mean we get rerolls?
Can I just
We're gonna
say,
need it.
it feels so good to see a group come together and support Karens.
God
Because it's
damn
been
it.
a rough year for Karens this last, year or
Hey.
two. So yeah, I'm just
Having to
proud
breathe
of
all
this
that
group.
extra CO2, it's hard. So hard.
She could, you know what? If that were to come through, if 100 were to come through, I would give her an AKA Karen, and I would sleep better knowing that it's still Kendra, AKA Karen. I
All
wouldn't throw
right,
a
I
fit
would
or
like to
anything.
speak to your manager. Wait,
God.
that's Bub.
And she has
What
to say
happens when
that.
your manager is the person that you're talking? That's a hot mess.
It is in fact. So you met Kendra. Where did you meet Kendra?
She's got magic at the funeral. Laura
The family home.
She's the daughter of the recently deceased, or the maybe not so recently deceased.
She
The
likes to stand by
10-day-old.
fireplaces. And
She may be a necromancer. We don't know. She just had a lot of stuff going on.
she had fire flicker from her
She had
hand.
fire coming out of her hands.
Yeah.
And she
That
was
is the biggest
really
concern
rude to
I've
me,
got.
which bothered the whole group.
Mm.
Was she? Oh, that's not how I remember it, but I'm down
I'm
to
so
listen.
shook from that.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
I'm sorry. In what world do you put your hands on another person without permission? Okay, first of all.
The same one you try to
The
strangle
kind of
dogs.
you
I
mean
guess.
when you're trying to steal her father's
Bro, you tried to
casket?
I wasn't
RKO her
trying
dad's
to
casket.
steal.
In
I
the
was
middle-
trying to help.
You
I
were
was
trying to lift the casket of her father in the middle
I
of a funeral.
misunderstood. Okay, Rye misunderstood the situation.
It's just
Yeah,
the order
He
of
just
activity.
met you guys. He doesn't even understand your facial expressions. Okay, because he's never seen a creature that even looks like you crazy 200-pound hobgoblin. And I don't know. I feel like he didn't need to be. He was basically
230
assaulted.
pounds. Thank you. I worked very hard on those.
Oh, sorry.
Lots
I meant
of
with
potatoes.
the chicken. with your chicken.
Also, I looked it up, and the chicken's probably more like 20 pounds.
Okay, that's
No.
much
Yeah.
better.
Yeah.
80-pound
No.
chicken is pretty
I'm sorry.
fucking.
Would be-
Is
It was like,
canon?
how you must be
Like an ostrich.
strong.
It would be morbidly obese.
She just has that one Trogdor arm.
it's like 6 bowling balls.
Yeah.
Oh
One
my
beefy
God.
arm.
You met a few other characters, people that may be of some importance to the town. Can you guys give me any of those people?
Zokar.
Yeah, you met Zokar. Who is
Father Grimborough as well.
Councilman Vashian Hartmount and Garen Marikar
Mhm.
and Jamenda, who didn't really say much. So
No.
she's sus. AF.
Mhm.
We met Pevron and his father,
Which was Zokar.
Zokar, yeah. And we found out that Pevron had discovered the body, and that there was a creature like a gargoyle stone that had fallen upon our
How
companion.
did you come across that information? That wasn't exactly announced.
It was on.
No.
His chin was off.
Yeah.
And there was gunk under his nails.
Yeah.
He had a
Well,
greater
someone touched his
repose.
face.
It's not so much his chin was off as his chin came off.
Yeah.
And just, I'm curious, out of game, do you know what that was? Okay.
The debris on his fingers.
No, what his face was. What was going on with that?
It was a magic
Oh,
spell.
the magic spell.
No.
And
That was the
The-
magic spell was
It
to
was-
keep him from
His jaw
deteriorating.
got caved in.
It was a
It was
prosthetic.
made
Oh.
of, yes, it was made of plaster, which
Yeah.
is actually the problem. And the first thought, of course, that Torvin had was this wouldn't have happened if he'd used granite.
True. Classic Stonejaw. I'm not sure
Yeah.
that most of his body would have supported that going
Just the
further.
wrong material for the wrong use. It's
Yeah.
as simple as that.
Yeah. They're
Well, his
taking
body
some
was
sort of
preserved by
right,
the
right.
Temple of Pharasma, so I'm not.
Yes.
So it was kind of like their, yeah.
And
Why would
is
they?
that
Why would they do that? Why would they preserve his body when nobody else
To cover
nobody
it
else
up.
would have that?
Well, I mean,
Shit sus.
is it not a so this is actually a legit question. Is it not something that's done? Like if a funeral has to be postponed or like is that not commonplace? Because I feel like I might know that.
It's not even really commonplace to have a proper, like a traditional full burial in some places because most people are not financially well off in order to afford that.
Gotcha.
But to even go about a
Mm.
like a permanency of a spell on a casket, that's a major statement. Major
Man,
statement.
I don't know, man. That seems so sus to me in the whole world of D&D. Like, if you think about it, if there's a world where you're bringing, like, regularly people are brought back to life, why would you ever have graveyards? Like cremation all day. When does cremation come into this?
I feel like that's a course that I
That's
would
a
like to
cultural
take.
thing.
Why? Why have we not learned this?
Yeah, like I
Wolves
feel like
have.
why is a graveyard even a thing when necromancers are walking about? Like it sounds
Right?
like a tool for trouble.
Especially in a place that had a huge undead problem back in the day. Like,
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like yeah, this
Problem?
seems like a bad
Or-
idea.
this is the plot of every horror movie ever. Let's go.
So
Welcome.
we're going to bury this corpse. We're not gonna go cremate it. We're burying
Correct.
it, and
We're
it's
gonna
being
try.
preserved by a spell. This is so far out of Rise.
But he's like super rich, dude. He's
He
like
is.
ballin'.
He's
Yeah.
a very, very well-known worldly figure.
Maybe someday he wants
Oh.
to be raised from the dead.
Oh,
No!
I know. Oh, I know he's super rich. Oh, I know.
Well,
Let's
but I
see,
mean, we're
who
trying to
here-
bury him, but we can't because there's a group of brigands across the road,
Actually,
led by a man named Gib, right?
interestingly enough, I think that Temerity and probably Torvin, not Torvin, but Eli would likely know this, that the church is not afraid to speak with the dead. In fact, it is a spell that can be utilized to speak with the dead to gain answers. However, if the body is maimed and the jaw is crushed for any reason, they lose the ability to speak.
Someone's trying to fucking shut this down. They're covering this shit up. Dude,
So
Oz
we
is
can't
not for
speak
this.
to
He's gonna
him.
find it out.
Can't speak to him. He could probably communicate with like symbols, gestures. He's technically not really allowed a cursive
Interpretive
spell.
dance.
Yeah, he could interpretive dance, but no speaking. No speaking. He can't even pick up anything, so it would be at best gestures. Like
It's
be playing
fine.
charades.
Oz is really good at
Mm.
charades.
Morse code.
He would tap, but you'd hear nothing because he's just passing through the desk. So that's a little something to stew on there. Let's see where that lands. So you did meet some people. You met Peverin, who is Zokar's son. Why is Peverin significant?
Found the
Found
body.
the body.
You found the body. Why? Like how? How did this little boy
He
find
was
the body?
looking for lost animals.
Yeah.
And apparently
Oh, yeah.
people's pets are going missing all the
Yeah.
time.
He was looking for
Oz
a cat.
is not a fan of that. Oz is
Right?
holding his pecker real close now.
Hmm.
Well, it was a cat specifically, right?
A cat, yes.
He's very good at getting them.
I
That was
wonder
something
where
that was
Hap is
said.
going to
He's-
disappear.
I
Good at
just
getting them.
listen. I just want to say, I just got here. I can't be responsible for the cat. Okay, so before anyone starts looking at Ryan, pointing fingers,
So
these missing animals had
first of
nothing to
all,
do with me.
Rye was sus and didn't have like share his actual name. So maybe he's the one who's murdering all these animals. And he did say he thinks dogs taste good. So
I love how the
He's not wrong.
hobgoblin with the chicken calls me sus.
Actually, it's the
I'm a
hobgoblin. more.
hobgoblin with a chicken. I am like the least sus.
Yeah, your entrance was real normal
Super normal.
for hobgoblin society, right?
Dude, my friend just died. I'm a hot mess.
It certainly is less than natural, but it's also believes something to be desired when you find someone comes in and tries to kill the town dog right away. So we'll see how that pans out.
Hopefully not with the dog on the pan. That's what we're hoping.
I love that you get all the shade, but I'm back here like I would have eaten him with it.
Yeah, no. I mean, you guys, you had that like out of you had that brief back and forth about the potential stringiness of the meat and whether or not it was a gaming experience or not. Yeah, I'm here. I got you.
Oh god, I'm a dwarf. We've eaten worse.
Food's
Yep.
right. Food's food.
Food is food. So, as it stands right now, let me take a look. It seems as if we are at 2.5 luck rolls. So as it stands, you guys have 2 luck rolls available to you. If 5 more come through, that will unlock your third. Also my third. Similarly, they met the goal earlier to hit the Harrow cards. As discussed last time, the Harrow cards is like a worldly buff on the session. And in this case, the first card was the twin. The twin. Now,
That's like not identical twins though.
they misaligned the card, which under normal circumstances would apply a debuff to your game. The problem is when I wrote up the rules for this particular card, The misalignment of this card is not that you suffer a debuff. It's that, unfortunately, you now have to suffer 2 brand new cards. And it is the only card that has that effect. So courtesy of chat, I get to draw 2 brand new cards.
Why
and
you
not-
say suffer?
Thanks,
like it's
chat.
inevitable.
What was that about
Are they
not the
still
darkest
misaligned?
timeline?
It is not the darkest timeline, I assure you. Because there are good cards in here. You
Or
guys can
is
have
it-
some
That's
very
what I'm
positive
saying.
effects.
You said suffer these 2 cards, but like there's goodness in there. I can feel it.
Let the darkness flow through you, Rye.
I love it so much. I love that voice so much.
Oh my gosh.
Right, suffer the goodness. So shuffle and I cut, and we've drawn the first card. Now the second card, shuffle, 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 shuffle. Into a cut and draw the next
I like the
card.
sound of shuffling. You know, people who are like really, I'm not good at shuffling. People who are good
Oh,
at
yes.
shuffling, like it just sounds magical and
Yeah.
it looks great. I'm just like, how
Like
do you do? Mine ends up like cards everywhere, and I'm like, that's a shuffle.
Yeah,
I think that might be my one
ugliest.
skill.
Yeah,
Yeah, I can.
You gotta
I can
give
shuffle a mean
give
deck
Bub
of
the
cards.
shuffle sounds.
Really?
Like
I will.
the
That's-
ASMR
Oh, yeah.
shuffle.
that's
I learned.
awesome.
Yeah, I learned to deal blackjack in college, and I was like,
Ever
What?
seen
no tricks,
someone,
but I can do it.
Bridge shuffle a $1,000 magic deck unsleeved?
Are you trying to fight someone?
I like that.
Not my cards. He's like, I'm
The
never
chat's-
gonna sell them. That doesn't
The
matter.
chat's like Maggie's shuffle is 52 pickup.
Yeah.
Wait,
So
isn't
you're
it?
to
Aren't there
cards.
72 cards? How many cards are in a deck?
50, well,
52.
52.
52.
Oh, is it 52?
54 with the jokers.
That's correct.
Okay.
So the card's drawn.
70s.
Oh, 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 oh.
The publican.
Is that
The
a mother of a
Republican-
dwarf?
Is that like
That's
half
so
of
card.
Republican?
Lovely.
Dude, look at he's like pouring beer into a mug. That's so
Yes.
much talent.
We're getting drunk.
Yes.
Oh man, I wish my camera's working. I have one too. Wild. Oh.
I have
And-
a mug, but I didn't bring it. I should
I'm
grab,
gonna-
grab
I
it.
have a
Next week we all
Stein
bring
and a
mugs.
mug.
I just brought the bottle.
I have my Star Wars tiki glass, so that's all I've got.
Ooh, is that a
Oh
bug?
no,
what is
the
that? A bug?
Republicans.
That's
Wow.
what-
We can't read
What
it.
is that?
That's the cricket.
The cricket.
Oh,
The bug?
awesome.
The cricket and the publican.
Okay, those can't be bad. The cricket is a it's
Cricket's
a
like a sign of
symbol-
luck.
Right,
Yes, a sign of
sports.
luck and good
He's like, not
tidings.
for me.
I'm
and
less convinced.
did no one
Um,
see,
Oh, crickets turn
that's a
into
good-
locusts.
Cricket's a great source of protein.
Yeah.
Okay.
Ooh, yeah, but
it's
yeah.
very, yeah, he's very right. Yeah, wow, good point. I like it.
Snowpiercer reference.
Well, courtesy of what they've done, it inevitably puts them into the alignment phase of aligned. So, these are good things.
Okay.
These are good things. I just need to take a quick look over what they might mean, and I will have some more details.
Okay.
I'll tell everyone
In
at
the
the end what
meanwhile,
they
I'll
do.
let you know that last episode, everyone saw my pecker. So that's out.
True.
We didn't have a choice.
I'm just
You
thinking
had
of
a
like,
choice. I didn't
It
force
was
you to
forced
look in the
upon us,
bucket.
to be
Also,
fair.
y'all made me take him out.
It's just hanging from your side in a bucket. Like it's hard to miss.
I need to figure out a way to get there's a hole in the bucket filked to this pecker in the bucket.
Yes.
Oh, we can do that.
Oh my gosh, I bet you at some point there's going to be a hole in the bucket, and then we're not going to be able to put him in the bucket, and then someone's going to have to carry him.
Can you flip
Bri.
it upside down and then his head comes out of the top, the bottom of the bucket? It's like a bucket armor. Bucket armor.
He's walking around in it. Oh my god, that's so cute.
Basically,
we have
a
an armor
turret
smith?
walks around as picking things. Yeah.
Yeah.
I am gonna be armor
That was
crafting.
terrible.
Oh, yeah.
Can
Yeah,
we
don't we-
train him?
Okay.
Can you try? I mean, I think
I
if you
don't
were,
think
if you
you
have
can
ways that you can
train
get his
him.
intellect up, then yes, you can give him some complex commands.
Handle animal or whatever,
So Eli could make armor for Pecker.
Well,
Yep.
and train him. Maybe?
yeah, that's a good question, chat.
We have a
Thank you, Jack.
mission.
That's just beer. In his
Have we
bucket.
have we
That's just
determined the number of children bones in the bucket yet?
No, there's no children bones. That
I
is a
think-
question that was brought up. That
Yeah,
was so
you brought up
mean.
children a lot, and like I don't
I
know.
didn't bring
feel
up
like-
children.
I don't know.
I think
feel
Eli
like
brought up the children.
But how
He
do you
asked-
tell the children bones from
Can't
like
trust 'em.
cat bones or dog bones, depending on the age of the child?
I don't know. They all
I think
taste
there
the
is a
same.
way to tell, though, right?
Uh,
People who know bones, they're like, "That's a human bone."
I don't know. I mean, I could tell you
Look,
what a cat
Don't
skull
talk
would
about
look
bones
like.
with my pecker, okay?
depends on the bone.
My
I suppose it
God.
depends upon the bone.
I
So the
don't feel
other-
like that was appreciated enough, Maggie.
The other note,
got-
these cards can never return. They will never see this game again. So the Publican, the Cricket, and the Twin
Oh,
are now gone forever. For
how
the
many
duration of
cards
this
are there
game.
total? I'm card
52.
counting.
There are 50. For the sake of this, there are 54.
Oh.
There are 54 cards.
Well, I
Some
didn't
of
know
them are
because the tarot cards are a
bad.
little different than the regular.
Some of them are real bad.
Well, regular decks come with 2 jokers. Just people don't usually count them. In the
Usually, correct.
The jokers are great for a D&D game. I feel like jokers would be could fuck with people.
Hence 54.
So now that we have caught up and wetter palates, what exactly was the very last thing that we rounded off on?
Gib blocking our way.
Gib, that's right. What did he say?
Ello dropped, or sorry, Rye dropped the coffin and made us all
Oh my
throw
gosh.
it in the mud, and I'm very unhappy about that.
I did not drop it. I set it down to help Kendra,
Mhm.
not Karen. Kendra. I
I'm
walked
so
up. There
proud
was
of you.
there's an angry mob. She looked distressed. We're all standing there in the rain with a casket. Like, we got to figure out what's going on. So I set it down. I didn't drop
Of our
it.
friend in the mud of his coffin,
Which
I'm-
I would.
that is so dishonorable to our friend.
Except that we are trying to ensure he is buried per his wishes, and these people will not let us pass.
We could have talked
Exactly.
while we held the coffin up. Though.
So
Yeah,
we're
but
trying
you
to
weren't holding the majority of it, Eli. So.
No, you're right. It was the hobgoblin that was right.
so
This
buff.
is my favorite.
No, I'm above average strength, but no, I'm not the one carrying this.
What is it that Hephaestus Gib said? What was the last thing that he said before we left?
He said that
did
he was a
say-
necromancer, and that's why they weren't going to bury him.
Yeah, he said that he won't have a necromancer buried in the same place as our family. And
But we could bury him a little ways up.
you could, yeah. He did suggest
I
that you get
think-
out of town.
If someone's
Yeah.
really upset about necromancy, I don't think they'd want them to be buried anyway. So this is all about them.
Generally
But-
fair.
Oh yeah.
If
Oh
we're
yeah.
following
Oz
the rule,
is Oz is following Rye and hopefully trying to deter them. We're gonna play good cop, bad or bad cop, good cop. Probably
Okay.
bad cop first and then good cop is what I'm assuming is gonna happen here. And then we'll see how fate aligns.
So then I need to ask, for the sake of this experience, I know that Rye and I know now that Oz are no longer holding on to the coffin.
I'm not either.
Temerity
you
is
said
not
that all
either.
of us had to drop it once
Yeah.
he let go.
You guys could still try to stomach it and basically bolster your strength, but you'd have to succeed
Keep
in
it up.
strength checks. It's difficult. This is
No.
a 600-pound coffin.
I'd be.
You
I'd
know
be
what?
guarding it to the
I
ground.
will attempt to hold it up because I'm a strong motherfucker.
You
Despite
it,
what Rye
Cobalt.
says.
okay? All right.
Show him the guns,
Then
Cobalt.
I will need a strength check. That's
Oh,
really
damn.
good. Really good. I
22.
did. I set the
What's up?
DC.
Crit.
I set the DC at 20.
In the
No,
middle, just
if I have to take a quick gander at your character sheet, you have a carry weight, a carry capacity. You are effectively at heavy load, and your lift off of ground has been beaten. You cannot move. This is
Okay.
stuck.
But you are wielding the coffin.
This is stuck on your back. If you take a step, your legs will buckle and it will crush you. You probably won't die, but you'll definitely drop the coffin and probably injure yourself.
Okay. I'll take it because I don't want to dishonor my friend's coffin by letting it go in the mud and be rained upon with mud because it's a nice coffin too. Because yeah, it's what you said. It was a fancy one.
Give me a knowledge religion. I'm curious to know if you might know something.
I do have let me click character sheet, main, knowledge, religion.
Ooh.
Oof. I'll use a luck reroll
Okay.
for that.
Go for it.
Yeah. Thank you, chat. We love you.
Yes.
More subs, more rerolls, please.
Oh,
It rolled right off
It
the
did.
16.
You want more.
you do
You
have
want
one
more?
more.
I'm gonna go with one more.
Okay,
I'll
go
go
for
ahead
it.
and use it early. That's fine. There we
Oh,
go.
nice.
Yeah,
Clutch.
good. That's what you needed. Chat.
Clutch.
Tell them the story.
Thanks, chat.
Eli, it is considered a direct insult to Pharasma and to the interned dead if the funerary rites are not finished. And the funerary rites for this particular arrangement is that the lantern that she's carrying, that she had the flames kind of like glow up over her hand, that's burning incense. And the coffin is supposed to pass through that incense. So if it hits the ground before it reaches the restlands, it's supposed to break curse over the entire town.
Oh, just save y'all's asses. I'll save the whole town.
With that, because I mean, I don't like to back up off things, but that seems like something I would know as someone who is a member of.
Sure.
Right? Can I? Because if I forget in
Or
the
it's
heat of the moment, I
opportunity for you to be
forget.
impressed.
Like, and I could always run, but let me. Where is it? Knowledge, religion. Let's see. Bam.
Yeah. You know it. I mean, it's within your line of religion. It would be a bit more difficult for Eli because it's not the god that he follows. However, it is a god that you follow. Of course, you're going to get circumstantial bonus here. Yeah, it's frowned upon, to say the least. And while you may not buy all of the hubbub about curses, you have seen what belief can do in any situation, and it may lead to bad things.
That's
So,
why
I guess-
I don't
I
believe in
guess-
any of that shit.
I guess when he drops the coffin, then, and I fumble to grab it and hold it up, I'll like mumble something like, "You idiots! Like a little help here. We're gonna the entire town could get cursed if this thing hits the ground.
Sure.
Not to mention, it's extremely dishonorable to our friend who we're
Look,
trying
I
to
don't
bury."
If I
any
hear,
strength at all, so I just look
Give me a
like he's
perception,
crazy.
Temerity. You may not hear this, despite him
Right.
saying it. Like, this is taking every fiber of his being to hold this up. And you might catch some of that because it's like mid grunt, and you're also dealing with like the rain. The rain's still falling, and you're still trying to catch the conversation between Gib, the men, and now Rye and Kendra. So let me set the scene here, and I will open this back up for you guys to decide what you're gonna do. Okay. Let's turn our weather back on. Okay.
Let's make it. I'm gonna have to pee.
I'm so sorry. I am so sorry.
I don't know
promise
what
I'm
it
not
is
trying
about
to.
rain. It is. It's like
It just makes me want to pee.
Makes me want to go to
Just like,
sleep. I'm tired. Puts me to sleep.
The closer that you've all stepped in the direction of the Restlands ebbs you closer and closer to the place of legend that is Harrowstone. Harrowstone Prison. It's half a mile past the Restlands. And every step that you take inches you closer to a feeling. It raises the hair on the back of your neck. It sends this vibe of something bad, something wicked is ahead. You can feel the shake tremble through your feet, down your fingertips. And in that moment, when you feel as if you are going to release this to deal with this individual, this person that's now accosting Kendra, declaring that her father is a necromancer, you all begin to let down the coffin. And without even batting an eyelash, Eli steps under it, bears the brunt of the weight. He musters out a few words. You catch him. "You idiots!" Mumbles something again about curses. But you see that his legs lock up. He's doing everything that he can. The men don't seem to back down. Their declaration of necromancy not being allowed stands with them. With a flash of lightning, Ryu stood next to Kendra. Her frustration is palpable. She white knuckles over the lantern's hanging string, and a blue flame begins to rise. She doesn't say anything. What does everybody do?
After Rye goes up, I'm following in suit, but I assume he gets the first verbiage.
Yeah, I'll I'll just call out to him about as loud as I can with my voice. And I just talk to him. Sorry, my voice. Sorry. Hold on a second. I need something to drink. I say, fuck you. No. Why you're holding this up? What's the holdup?
A few of the men seem to chime up, and say, "You're not wanted here. Necromancy's not allowed. Leave the dead the way they are. Get them out."
Necromancy. I look over at necromancy. I go necromancy, and I look over at Kendra. What's she doing?
Staring daggers.
Just staring daggers?
Her frustration is, her entire focus is on this man in the back. The last thing she said was necromancy. Are you really that ignorant?
Let me know when I'm like there.
Sure you are. This is just like 10 feet in front of the casket.
Yeah, it's not too far. I look
All right.
back.
Then Oz will step in. Go ahead, Olo, though.
Oh, that's fine. Listen, we're just trying to bury my friend. Can you guys... Is there any way you can get out of the way? It's raining, it's pouring. What do you want?
Would you like to make any rolls here? Anything you want to sort of utilize?
I'm not intimidating yet. I'm just talking. He's not great at talking. He's kind of stalling, I think, waiting for somebody else that maybe is a little bit more diplomatic.
Sure.
He does not listen, right? Is a fighter, but he's not a fucking idiot.
Yeah.
He sees 12 armed men in front of him.
All right, with that, I see him kind of like trying to calm the situation down, and Oz will waddle his way up, bucket in hand, trying to like cover it up so that the rain doesn't get into the bucket.
Sure.
And he's like, "Now, you all have probably lost somebody, somebody you care about, right?" He kind of look, and he's like addressing everybody, kind of like looking at all of them.
There's no response back. A few of them seem to kind of look at you in confusion.
I'm grunting.
We lost somebody we care about, and dear Kendra here, she lost her father. Now, I'm sure some of y'all are fathers, and every one of you is sons and daughters. So, you know what it's like to lose somebody, and maybe lose a parent, a sibling, a family member, a close friend.
Gib finally
just
breaks
trying to
away
bury
as you're saying these things. Gib says, "We lost plenty when the tyrant came through. Necromancy wrought all kinds of disrepair, and we all suffered loss."
And what proof do you have that this man dabbled in such arts?
We all know what they say about Harrowstone, and he was there all the time. What good would he serve there?
But is it not justice to make sure that you're not accusing somebody of doing something that they haven't done? You don't know what he was doing there. Perhaps he was trying to stop something as horrendous as so.
And the bartender's son was there too. You gonna string him up?
He's the one who found the body.
Peverin's just a boy. He didn't do anything wrong.
So now we're being ageist about it. So now it matters if you're young or old, whether you're a necromancer or not. See, I don't understand the logic here, but what I'm trying to tell y'all is that something ain't right here. And what ain't right is y'all not letting us give peace to our friend.
Maggie, give me diplomacy. Or are you trying to intimidate?
I think I'm doing diplomacy
Okay.
for sure. Is it not rolling? Oh, I might have rolled multiple times.
You did, in fact. We'll take the first one. Do you want to stick with 12, or do you want to give it another shot? You happy with it or not?
I would want to re-roll because I have a re-roll, but also I rolled a 10 as a double roll.
No,
on
I'm not.
accident, So don't
That was you.
Okay.
You clicked twice, and because it wasn't rolling,
Alright.
I'm not gonna count it.
Yeah, sometimes roll 20
It's
like that a
it's
little.
wonky. It's
Worse.
just
Should I spend one more? You know what? I'm gonna follow in suit with Cobalt. This is the thing I'm supposed to. I get a plus
I mean-
7 to this.
I have
Damn it.
diplomacy too, but I'm under a coffin holding it up, so.
Oh my god!
Oh no!
Oh no! So bad.
Good.
But it's perfect. I love it. Let's go with it.
You could plead a case. You could plead a case, and perhaps chat will.
I mean, chat, come on. Your favorite hobgoblin. What
Hey.
other hobgoblin do you have out
We're-
there
we're
in the
not
world?
allowed
Listen,
to buy
listen,
our own
listen.
you love
rerolls.
this much? I will show you my pecker, or if you don't want to see it, I will hide it in a bucket.
This is, you guys, this is just the first line of defense. This is good cop, okay? We still have bad cop.
Yeah, we got bad cop. You know what's funny though is if he says something terrible, I think what's gonna happen is that
Yes.
Oz will be like, "All right, Oz, get him."
Fish coming through with 5.
Oh,
So I'm kind of
yes.
okay with me failing miserably at this.
Fish coming through with
but
5,
there's good
unlocking.
stuff happening.
And then Karami coming through with 5 more, putting you halfway to your 4th lucky roll. So you have a 3rd if you'd like to use it.
All right, let's do it, chat.
I believe
Just
hard
because you
cards.
donated, I'm okay with it failing too, but since you donated, this is for you.
Freya coming in with 5. That's 4 luck rerolls.
24.
That escalated quickly.
Whilst you're doing this, can you get them to carry the casket?
A little help here.
Well, if he's
Yeah, just-
calling for help,
If I
I'll go
crit,
back.
maybe. If I crit, maybe. I didn't.
Give me your argument one last time. I'd like to hear that again, please.
What did he say?
He said sons and daughters. You're just trying to bury a
Yeah.
friend.
Yeah, we're all sons, daughters. We have family members who we've lost, or dearest friends in some cases. We're just trying to bury a lost loved one. That's all we're trying to do here. And I think every one of y'all could probably understand that.
You noticeably see some
Don't
of
make me
the
cry because I've been holding it together.
some of the men seem to start to lower their tools. And they kind of dip their head. They just realized what they're doing. They've stopped a funeral, or at least the funerary rites. And it brings shame not only to them, but to town and Pharasma's watchful gaze. And they sort of avert their gaze from Gib and from you, and they bow in shame. And Gib tries to rally. He's going to attempt here.
Oh my gosh.
Come on, no!
Damn.
We talked about this. The Loremore's gotta go. Since they've been here, everything has been bad. Everything. They brought downtrodden times to this town. You've seen the things he's been reading. The people he converses with, or had conversed with. He can't
Is
be
Tim-
buried here.
Okay, with
Is
that,
Temerity by the
Oh.
by the coffin still? As well?
Muted.
Like 10
So
about
I thank you.
10 feet
I
away?
would have started to walk away, but if I heard you say something and kind of turned around, even if I didn't hear him, I think if I saw him doing this, I would have been like,
You
and I would
recognize the
head
struggle,
back
for sure.
Yes, and go back and give him some assistance. Do you need me to roll a strength?
I will.
I want to try to picking up some of the dialogue, even though I'm clearly my focus is on holding the coffin up. When I hear, the necromancy and being aligned with the law and knowing that she is Pharasma, perhaps, another law-abiding character, I would just mutter out under the, the strain, in her direction, like, what proof do they have?
I'm gonna use a luck reroll.
I figured you might. That's much better. Cobalt, someone is attempting to help you. I will need you to give me a luck reroll, or not a luck reroll, but a strength check, and you'll be shifting some of this weight over, but if you botch it, you could end up dropping your end.
Oh, great.
It's a lower DC.
Okay.
Bear in mind, it is a lower DC, so you don't have to break 20 again. But you
is that, a
do have to
5?
break 8.
8.
Oh no, an 8. But he has one more reroll, right?
There are four. There were 4 lucky rolls, so
I've used 2,
He's used 2,
so
so he's got 2 left.
I'll use one more.
Go for it.
I
I
might
mean,
as well
I'm
front
next
load him.
to you, but I have no strength.
you could roll really well.
That's a little better.
Okay, all right. Torvin, you see him shift as Temerity slides to the end to sort of rebalance this out. And as he does, you notice his legs start to buckle slightly. They dip. The casket's closed, but it's not sealed.
All right.
And if he falls, that lid could
Yeah.
fly open and the body could come out.
That
I
would be terrible.
can't take the weight.
Sure.
But I can get under him and help lift him,
Yeah,
his
yeah.
area up.
Sure.
So
Give
I'll do
me
that.
a strength.
So
Oh, no.
Hey.
What's your plus to that? You
Man, this,
Not rolling
this
hot
group
today.
a bunch of weak ass bitches
No,
around here.
You are strong, dude.
Like I'm
I'm
here.
not.
Wyld is not
Well, one
a
of them.
physically strong character. He's very dexterous. Very, very
I meant
dexterous.
Rye.
Oh,
I meant
Rye?
Rye
Yeah.
are strong, dude.
He's 10 feet away.
He's
though.
given shit to everybody who's not as strong as him. I'm like, what the hell?
Rye, like,
No, that's
give me
Ellohime.
perception. I kind of want to see if Rye is going to glance back, because you may not know all of the funerary procession rites and everything that is involved, but you wouldn't hear any of the footfall of your allies coming up behind you. So I want to see if you would even glance over your shoulder at all, if you might, even in your periphery, right, catch this sort of thing.
I mean, yeah, I'll definitely roll that.
Yeah.
But if I do see that, I'm probably just gonna enjoy the view of Eli struggling with it.
And you will, in fact. The situation doesn't appear to be dire, but it looks, wow, man, it looks like a hot mess. There is a shifting of weight. Temerity sidles under the backside of the coffin. Eli shifts, his leg begins to give, and you see Torvin immediately throw his back into the chest of Eli to give him an opportunity to stabilize and straighten up. And he's not prepared for it. His footing is starting to slip. Can I get Torvin? Can you give me a reflex save, please?
A reflex save.
Yes.
Flex and pecs.
Close. It is under your attributes. There should be a list of saves.
Yeah, you get a plus to that for sure, probably.
Let me take a quick glance to make sure that I'm giving you the right info here.
I see the reflex box.
There you go. Yeah. You click on. Yeah, you got it. So, perfect. In this case, do you want to risk it? Do you think 10 is good enough?
No, I'm trying to help.
Yeah.
Help, Torvin.
Yeah, I'm trying to really push him.
Go for it.
Poor
When I turn
Just trying
around,
to carry
I
this
have a
damn
bad
casket.
leg.
oh nice.
Oh.
Oh man, you dig your
Nice.
heels in, and you just happen to. Maybe it's the fact that you've got the right urban dwelling kind of boots. As an urban ranger, you've grown accustomed to this sort of thing, and you dig your heels in, stabilize just enough. Give me a new strength check. I'll give you a circumstance bonus for positioning yourself just right. Perfect. That's good enough. You needed to break 10, and you did. Just for the sake of the experience, give me one more strength, Cobalt. It's going to be easier. You've got someone that's supporting you here. Okay, you're fine.
So I turn around, I see them struggling, and Rye just thinks to himself that it's not the first time he's seen people make dumb decisions due to rituals and traditions.
Of course.
He just sort of, if they would have just sat it down when he let it down, it wouldn't be an issue, but they want to make it an issue. He turns back to the front. He's actually sort of annoyed by this a little bit, and he kind of loses his cool a bit, and he steps up and he just addresses Gib and the crowd. Listen, you're wasting our time. If you don't have any proof, then you're nothing but a mob of mad dogs. I'm here to bury my friends. And if you don't get out of the fucking way, well, and I just kind of bolster up a little bit, and I want to roll some intimidation if that's cool.
Go for it.
Bleh.
Before you even begin saying anything as you step up, you notice two of the men, they're having I don't want to say a debacle, but they're having a private conversation. But you see them shaking their head no. You hear one of them say out loud, like, this ain't right. It's not right. And they throw down their tools, their farming equipment, and they just kind of walk off. Two of them do. Ooh, damn. Okay. All right.
Nice.
So I'm going to give them a save based off of Gib, since he is sort of the leader. He's making this determinant factor. So I'm going to give him a bit of a resist here.
He is
Ooh.
hot.
He is. Yeah, he's rolling real well tonight. It's always in the favor of the players when this comes down to it. So I'm going to give you an even or an odd. You have a chance here. What do you think, Ello? I'm going to re-roll a 20. You tell me, even or odd, in your favor.
We'll go odd.
Okay. Even.
I want to re-roll that choice.
Okay. I thought you might. Still even? Still odd?
Yeah, let's stick with odd.
Okay. It's odd. Very good.
Oof.
A few more of the men also like look back to Gibbs. That man, and like you hear him. Give me a perception. I want to hear if you see what they say.
Okay.
Okay. You're not gonna catch all of it, but you basically get one of the men saying, "Gib, I'm a farmer. That man. His arms are the size of my torso. I can't go out like that." And he just takes his stuff and he books it. He's out. He's gone. Gib is getting like noticeably more frustrated. Two more men leave. They're down to 6.
Oz sees this happening and pats kind of Ryan on the back because he's doing good stuff. Like probably more like, cause how tall are you, Ryan? Actually.
I'm 6'3".
Okay. So like above the butt, not quite mid back, because I probably can't reach that far.
It's a nice lower back rub.
Yeah, lower back rub, and it's like,
Wait, you put your hand on me?
yeah.
I look over to you as soon as you touch me, and I tell you, don't put your fucking hand on me. And I yell out to Gib. I see like the rest of them. I say, here's the deal. I'm going to walk over to that casket. I'm going to pick it up. And if you get in my way as I start stepping, if I drop that casket again, there will be blood here tonight. And I walk back and I just grab the casket to help them.
That. I was just like, now we don't want that. I don't think any of us does. Not us, not you. And look, I see Gib, your friends here. They don't want to partake in this. Everyone understands. We're just trying to let a friend, move on. What is it? Do you have proof? Is there something that is bothering you?
There's
What
no
did he do to
response.
you?
There's no response from Gib or the other men, and the other men just kind of like they start looking. They begin looking over to Gib, and he's just filled, like the kind of person that's just filled with piss and vinegar. Just teeth, just tight, lips pulled back, and they want to say something, but they've got nothing.
I think Oz sees it. I can tell there's a lot of tension here. Maybe there's something you want to say. Or perhaps we can chat a little later. And you can let us know what you know. And if there's anything we can do to help, we gladly do so. Or at least I will. I don't know. I guess I can't really volunteer then. But I'll help figure out what's going on. If there's something happening at Harrowstone. But don't blame my friend here. Especially if you don't have proof.
And with that, the group disbands. They split ways. Words are briefly shared, nothing that would matter to any of you. And they all separate. Gib lingers the longest.
I kind of grab Kendra's hands, like clasp her hands in mine, and I'm like, sorry you had to deal with that, Kendra. Maybe you should simmer down a bit. And he looks at her hand because he noticed that it's getting a little hot.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sweating profusely all over Torvin. Steam's rising off.
No,
of my
when I
body.
walk over, I help. Do you want me to roll above for that?
Yeah,
or-
yeah, yeah. Go for it. Yeah, please.
Okay, all right. Well,
I think you could do both.
I'm just saying,
Beads
like,
of sweat are dripping all over him.
I'm already
warmth.
I'm already here for the fanfic, so like, don't put those ideas out into the world.
I mean, yeah, don't talk about that.
Shake your hair all sexy and get all your sweat all over.
Oh, it's raining too. It's like
yeah.
yeah.
God, you're beautiful, Ra.
Yeah, only the warmth of the droplets can allow Torvin to distinguish what is sweat and what is rain.
Yeah.
Flash dance all over again.
Perfect. Okay. You move up and you shoulder your corner. Zokar has no idea what just transpired. He was trying to offer assistance, but he's not got the strength that you guys do. He's a barman, right? He's just a portly barman who is jovial by nature. He's never carried a casket before. Peverin's not there, and the councilman watches on, and he looks to you, Rye, like as you're walking back, he gives you like a nod of appreciation, like, hey, I know you probably could have fucking killed these guys, but I'm glad that you chose not to, because, you know, it's a very long-winded look, admittedly, but you get the idea that he's gonna have to do something about this later.
We'd be killing his voters, you know.
To a degree, yeah. Hey, thank you so
I
much.
was
Noct.
kind of excited for my failure. It could have been funny too.
It could have been really, really well.
Fisticuffs.
You guys just got your last luck reroll, courtesy of Noct. So thank you so much, Noct, and everybody else.
So we locked in our fifth one.
Yep, you guys have 5 luck rerolls for the night.
I only have 2
You
left.
used 3, so yeah.
Yeah, I
same
used
boat.
3.
People be burning through them. I'm excited about it.
Just the one. So far.
I'm gonna
The
say that's
problem
all right.
is,
Wyld
we
and I are
still-
gonna come back and save your ass.
Yeah.
Yeah, we still have
that's
2
the
more
plan.
hours to go.
Mm-hmm. And with that,
Well,
go ahead.
go ahead. I was gonna say last time we didn't have as many chances to roll.
Yeah.
So, but it seems we're using them a lot more now. So.
Sure. Kendra takes note to what you said, and you notice her grip sort of loosens over the thread. The fire begins to dim down, and she catches your sight for a moment. Jaw loosens as well, and she just says, "I'm sorry." Gib is less than savory individual, and he's said a lot of words for my father. I don't know why. He's held on to something for so long, and I've never known why. She squints her eyes briefly.
Well,
You can see very clearly in the dark, and she cannot. Do you follow her vision at all?
sure. While I'm talking, I kind of look in the direction and I say, well, sometimes people harbor, feelings about things. It's not always about the person that they have the feelings for that is the problem. And I look in the direction that she's looking.
As you're saying these things to her, you're trying to comfort and console her. You see the silhouette of 3 men walking in your direction. One seems to be a bit shorter in stature, or at least appears that way at first when you notice that he's sort of like hunched over. It's Father Grimburrow.
Oh,
He's-
looks like Father Grimburrow's coming back. Where did he go off to, anywho?
She says he was at the Restlands. We're late. And with that, Grimburrow approaches with 2 gravediggers. He approaches Kendra first, and you're there. What was the noise? We heard things over the thunder crashing.
Yeah, nothing to worry about now. We've resolved the situation. I think it's best we just get a move on before this rain hunkers down any further.
Very, very well.
I don't know how long they all can carry that thing.
Well,
I'm gonna be honest, I wasn't really helping that much.
Not much longer.
we are not far off now from this point. Let us continue. And he turns back around, motioning to the other gravediggers, and they nod to him, and they lead the way. The rest of the way to the Restlands.
I can talk to Kendra on the way
Of course.
to maybe get some more information. I'm not really helping carry that casket that much anyway. I'm probably like at my max capacity of height. He's just like, so you said Gib has harbored these feelings for him for a long time. How long and when did it start? He's a suspect on my list, okay?
It's been years. I can't say exactly how long, but it feels like shortly after we moved here. I was still a girl.
Anything happened between the two of them that you think would cause that?
Not that I'm aware of, no.
Well, that seems peculiar. What's the reason he's calling him a necromancer?
Father dabbled in many things. He believed the best way to know your enemy was to study them. And while he wasn't a practitioner of necromancy, he read of them. And he wasn't shy about his readings. He would read publicly. And, well, people talk.
Are these readings and information something that we might be able to get our hands on?
Yes, I think so. Father kept every one of his books at the house. I should be able to take you, but good luck finding exactly what it might be. There are thousands.
Well, I don't know if your father ever talked about me at all, but we used to exchange letters and things of that sort. We talked a lot about all kinds of things. I guess I'm as Rye says, peculiar one, I suppose. A little bit different than my folk normally are. Curious about things. But I say I'm not that dangerous. That was that one time with that ladder and that bucket. I'm honest, I swear.
Oz, correct?
That's what they call me.
I do appreciate the candor, so forgive me for seeming short, but let's continue with the funeral, and we can catch up after, if that's fine.
All right. Just wanted to know if you knew anything else about this Gibb fellow.
For what it's worth, he never said your name, but he did say that there was someone befitting of the way that you looked. It was a bit of a prodigy, as he'd called, and, well, he did like to study.
For that? Oh my goodness. and I think Oz just tries to keep himself calm, but also starts crying, but then it's like happy tears, but then it gets sad tears, and then he goes back to the casket to try to help Carrion.
Sure. And with all that the 4 or 5 of you can muster, with Zokar's help and Bastion Hearthmount, while the weight is poorly distributed, each of you make your way to the Restlands. The rain never stops. It never seems to slow down or cut pace. To say that it's overcast is an understatement. But it doesn't really stop Father Grimborough from preparing the final rites. You'll need to move the casket over, basically lowering ropes, and then the gravediggers will finish this. So, strength checks from everyone. It's just simple, easy enough. You don't have to roll exceptionally high.
Strength checks, everyone.
At this point, everybody's basically just lowering this.
Ow, in the bananas. All right.
So strong.
I'll take it.
You know, my 16 is doing me so much good right
You
now.
have a 16, I have a
Yeah.
10, and I rolled a 17.
I'm at
How?
16 and I've
I'm
done like
tired.
crap. Apparently my muscle, it was not leg day. It was arm day.
I just care a lot about Lorimar, Mr. L, Prof. L, so that's why.
Nobody failed. Just needed to make sure that everybody rolled above a 5. So, not impossible,
Close.
but close, yeah. But everybody can move this over easy enough. You lower to the ropes, and then the gravediggers begin turning what looks to be winched rope. As you hear Father Grimborough, he's saying, what is this here?
You've all just won $1 million.
No, God, no.
Yay!
Is that what he said?
I don't think dollars exist in this world, though.
No, not quite. He's delivering the final sermon. He's saying some kind and short words, particularly for Kendra's sake, and for those that are aware of whom he is. And then he invites Kendra to follow through and say anything, a final goodbye, if you will. And it takes her a moment. It does, in fact, take her a moment. But she will. She will follow through. She pauses and looks around, fighting back those tears. A bite upon the lip, trying to muster the right words, where she wants to draw forth stories of his character, discussing his courage, his ability to find the diamond in the rough, to find not only the needle in the haystack, but the proper needle in the stack of needles. That he was many things, but short-sighted was none of them. And while she is confused, especially more so now than ever, at the loss of him in this time, she appreciates each of you for coming, for offering your aid, for committing to the cause, being pallbearers at the funeral. And she asks if anyone here would like to say anything. Would anyone here care to share a few words for my father?
Step up. Eli will slowly shift towards the front, dragging one of his legs a little bit since he just had so much physical exertion. Looks a little bit stiff, like it might be bothering him a little bit. He'll go and stand next to Kendra, and he'll start recounting his experience with the professor. I met the professor several years ago when he was in need of some help. He got me through a lot of training and taught me many things about life and how to deal with it. It is my honor to honor his memory today on this very sad day, and to fulfill the cycle of life and return him back to the earth. And with that, I hope that Torag embraces him in the afterlife, and he'll see many nights, drinking ale in the afterlife.
Okay. Give me a diplomacy check, please. Oh my goodness.
Well,
Smoking.
That was
I guess I won't side-eye him.
stunning.
Bryce suddenly wants to have sex with Eli.
I'm like, well, I guess that's not how Pharasma thinks, but okay.
Absolutely uplifting. You
God,
delivered
that man
this
speaks well.
particularly moving speech, and nobody's really anticipating it. They weren't expecting you to possess maybe just the right words or the proper delivery in the moment, and it's taken everyone by surprise. Did anyone else want to deliver anything?
Well, not
I-
now.
Oh. When the proper homage to his speech is kind of concluded, I'll step forward and remove a black rose, an unthorned black rose from my duster, and kind of present it into the grave and say something quietly, and then stand up and just back up.
The men begin to lower Petros into his grave. The incense urn has been opened at this point, and Father Grimborough finishes what remains of the ritual. As Kendra and Father Grimborough pass over, he dumps the ashes of this incense through her fingers. Doesn't seem to burn her, but it falls over his casket. This is the final step. Bastion Hearthmount moves up to Rye Rye, he doesn't try to corner you. There's no corner of a building out here in the Restlands. But he does try to pull you to the side to share a few brief words.
Yeah, anything to get away from this.
He apologizes first. Says, I'm incredibly sorry for the thugs, the farmers, all of low character. You did very well as to not deliver them unto their own graves. I have no doubt to believe, just by the way that you carry yourself, that you possess enough strength to do as such. These men are shaken. They're scared. And none of them are privy to the tides of war. I am grateful that you withheld as such. I will be speaking with the sheriff, Chef Kaler, so as to deliver a proper and just reward that they have so rightfully earned for interrupting this procession. I just wanted to share my thanks with you.
Okay. Oh man, that's it's kind of weird. What's this guy's like? Okay, when you say his title, what kind of position is this? Like,
He's a councilman. Vashian Hearthmount is one of the 3 council figures that guide the entirety of the town. It's like their mayor of sorts.
2 then.
Correct.
I look at him and I say, I appreciate your thanks, but your means and mine lined up only by coincidence. I'm here to bury my friend, but if there's coin, we can speak later.
I need to see where that's going to land with him.
Get that dollar.
I feel like this is sort of like a politician, and maybe there's some opportunity.
Okay.
You know, so Rye's just kind of being a little standoffish, but he's throwing it out there that if there's a task that he may need or some service that, I'm open to.
If your services shall be requested for endeavor, then I have no doubt that you will fulfill the task. For the time
I
being,
nod.
I'll be stepping away to speak with the sheriff myself. I will have to return to the Lorimar residence, as I will be surveying over the remainder of the last will and testament. I should be around within the hour. See to it that everyone is prepared. He says this in a way that most everyone can hear. He's no longer kind of muffling his words.
Wait, now he says that he's okay. I wonder if Rye is smart enough to know that he doesn't actually distribute the wealth. Let me roll an intelligence check real quick.
It's questionable.
I think Rye is going to assume that he actually has a say in the will, and like that he actually could have some sort of the outcome of what Rye might get out of this could be influenced by this man.
Right.
Rye's not dealt too much with wills at all, so he has no idea how this all works.
Sure.
So he's going to be generally agreeable and nod with him and just kind of say something along the lines of, whatever you need, and just kind of nod and, give him maybe even a little smile.
Okay. That's probably the first we've seen Rye actually smile.
I've smiled at Temerity a few times.
Was it a smile? I thought it was like a wink.
Like a grin, like a wink and a smile,
Okay. All right.
He smiled at. He laughed at me.
He did. He
He
did
gave
laugh
me
at us.
one small laugh.
Okay.
You were funny. Rye's
Likelihood-
not
I
without
wasn't
humor.
trying to be funny. He was serious.
Likely that the rest of you overheard that he would be seeing to the Lorimar residence within the hour. So, once this is concluded, she invites you back. She recognizes that this is an opportunity for each of you to sort of introduce yourselves properly, speak to anything that might be important, she does say that Councilman Hawthmount will be around shortly, I believe. He doesn't like to stay out very long after dark, and he is very curt and to the point. I would expect that he would be delivering any of the final messages from the last will and testament, and it would have been given to me sooner, but it is discussed, from my understanding, that it is not to be read until all of you were around and privy for the information. Whatever Father has to say is still following in his ways. So.
Well, I'm glad we're all here then. If these are the ones that he wants to hear what he has to say at the end of his life, then I'm proud that I'm one of those.
Okay. All right. We're going to take a brief, like 2 to 3 minute break, and we'll come back. Just going to do a quick bio, grab some water, and when we return, we will reconvene back at the Lorimore residence. So, do what you got to do, take your bio, and we will see you in just a moment. Hey guys, we are back. Took a little longer than anticipated, but that's okay.
We were just squeeing about
Yeah.
how awesome this is.
Yeah, we should have just let them hear all that too.
Yeah, we should have thought them hear
probably.
us still talking about it.
Probably not a terrible idea going forward. If that's something you guys want to do during like the break, we can just leave audio on.
Yeah, I'm okay with that because that's my favorite audio is break audio.
Cool. Cool. All right, so we have rounded this back out, and you have wound back up at the Lorimore residence. You followed Kendra back. Unless you would like to stop at any point and go elsewhere, this is your best bet to make your way back to this place.
No, I think I'm going back, and I'm interested in that. Like, we had that conversation, and she had stated that like later we would chat about it further. Looking at the books and whatever he was looking at, that information I think is what Oz is interested in, and I'm sure anybody else who's into, whoever else is a nerd like Oz will be interested in reading that stuff.
Okay.
Yeah, Eli's really sad he didn't go eat earlier now because he was expecting a shortish funeral and not a mystery
Sure.
dungeon.
Don't
So.
try to touch my pecker.
Perfect.
Rye's gonna actually stick back while everyone else leaves for just a bit.
Okay.
He'll catch up, but
We have to have everyone there for the inheritance.
yeah, that's fine. I'm not staying
Yeah.
very long, but I'm waiting till everyone leaves, and then I'm doing my own thing, and then I'm coming out.
Okay, are you waiting for the gravediggers to leave because they're burying him immediately?
I don't necessarily have to wait for them to leave. I would like.
Do I see you leaving?
I think everybody else will be leaving, and he's probably just staying behind.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm staying behind. Correct, with the grave. Yeah,
Oh.
I don't mind if the grave diggers see me. I just don't want everybody here.
Okay, fair enough.
I think then before Oz leaves, he will come chat with you, if you
Okay.
don't mind.
Yeah, no.
I don't like that people are going to be holding us up because I don't even care about the inheritance. I'm only sticking around because you people need stuff. I didn't come for the inheritance.
Listen, you
So,
got your fancy speech, all
Well,
right? All of us grieve in our
okay.
own ways, Cobalt.
fine. I'll continue to be.
Some of us
patient
have our
then.
own traditions and rituals to seek to, okay?
He's
I
gonna
offer-
pee on the grave.
I can see myself offering Eli a pipe and some tobacco.
Yeah, sure. Fantastic.
All right.
Oh, I see you brought the good stuff.
Oh, always.
And Temerity, will you be on your way back, or will you linger somewhere between and wait?
No, I've done my piece at the grave. I would linger. I would just go directly back.
Okay. All right. Then the camera focuses to Rye and to Oz. Rye, you hang back, allowing everyone to leave. And as everyone begins to venture away, you see the gravediggers release their shovels to start pouring the mud, the dirt, debris, detritus, whatever happens to be atop the soil back down, to batten it back down, tightly so. Oz, you can see him waiting.
I notice Oz walking up.
Depends on Oz's movements. Oz, do you want to be deliberate? Are you trying to be sneaky?
Oz isn't trying to be sneaky. He's doing his little waddle over to you. What are
Okay.
you doing in particular? You're just kind of like doing something, standing there.
I'm starting to get into my pack a little bit, but I kind of see you, come up to me, and as you walk up, I just kind of chuckle to myself and I say, of course you.
Oz kind of looks around to see if you're talking about somebody else, and then he looks at you. He's like, he points at himself, and he's like, "Of course, me what?"
Oh, just that you have a way of getting into people's business. And I'm digging into my pack as this is going on. I'm just kind of, I seem to be pretty content on that. I'm just kind of side talking to Oz right now.
I didn't mean to be getting into your business or anything like that, but I am curious, like you said. I still claim, not dangerous, just one time, ladder in a bucket.
At this, I sort of stand up and I turn towards Oz, and I've got my knife, my dagger that I have on me.
I was kind of like, he's a little cautious with him taking out his knife.
And I look at Oz and I just say to him, "Are you real?"
Oz touches himself and then checks his pecker. I think I'm real.
No, I mean, are you real? You seem to care a lot about everything that's happening around you, and those type of people make me very uncomfortable.
Oh,
But
well,
are
I'm
you real?
sorry
about
if I
it?
made you feel uncomfortable. I feel like I make a lot of people feel uncomfortable, but then they warm up to me after a while.
I kind of give him a look, a little bit.
It's kind of one of the reasons why I really like Professor L. Prof was always, everyone else looks at me strange, but he never did. Not once. Not once did I get that feeling where, someone's looking at you and they're like, "What the hell are you doing here?" I get that look a lot.
I look at Oz like square in the face, and I said, "No, I've never had the feeling that people were staring at me." And I kind of take my hand and I kind of showcase my face, with my scars and everything. And I just say, it's a different problem, but I can at least sympathize. At this, is there a way for me to produce fire here somehow? Like a little, I know it's raining.
Sure.
Maybe like a little.
Do you have like a flint and steel?
Yeah, I got flint. Yeah, I've got that stuff.
It's not gonna be super hard for you to. There's like a rakish box. They make it so you can one-handed produce fire. But it's very, very small. It's just sparks.
Yeah, I just want to heat up the blade a little bit.
Okay.
Yeah. So I'm like putting this fire together and kind of getting together. I'm starting to sort of heat the blade. And I kind of look over at Oz and I say, "Why are you here? Really?"
Well, like, here isn't existing, here isn't standing in this moment talking to you, or here for Professor L.
I want to sense motive.
Go for it.
I want to re-roll that sense motive.
You don't say.
I'll go with that. I'll stick with that. Oh.
Is there anything
11.
particularly that you're trying to find the truth in? Or are you just trying to like...
I'm just trying to see. This is a weird character. They seem to, all I've seen is this character be endlessly positive and very sweet and very diplomatic. And I'm just not buying it, So I'm just being like, cut the chase. Is this an act?
Sure.
Is it,
I mean, you remember the short time that you were actually involved with the professor. He was a very interesting character himself. And he always sort of found like a silver lining in things, even that were incredibly odd. Even your particular meeting, he found a silver lining in. There were if you can recall, there were 2 men that were there to jump him. And the silver lining was that good thing there wasn't 4.
Yeah, that's true.
And he was such a quirky guy. You could see where the professor would do well in the company of someone like Oz.
When you ask the question,
I'm a quirky guy.
like, oh, around here and everything, and I just, you know what, I do open up a little bit. I open up just a little bit, and I just say, you know, I don't trust many people. So when I see somebody who's so outwardly, genuinely nice, it makes me suspicious. And at this, my blade's been heating for just a little bit. It's hot enough, I'd assume by now. And I pull up my pant leg, and underneath, you could see burns and like burnt skin. And I just take the blade and I put it onto my skin, and it's hot. I mean, it is hot enough to brand. And I just keep it there for a little bit, and then I take it off, and I kind of kick the fire out.
Give me a fortitude save. I'd like a fortitude save from you.
Sure.
You're visibly branding your skin.
Yep. Where are you, Fort? There you are.
Very, very good. You're having this conversation, and you never really break stride. You heat the blade. Now, is this like a dagger? Is this like a hatchet?
It's my dagger.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a dagger.
Okay, so a thinner blade has heated it up enough that I'm not going to say that it could cauterize a wound, but you definitely are able to cause lasting, permanent damage to your skin. But it's never enough. It's never enough to kind of shake you. His eyes never quite leave your gaze. He might glance around, but he watches you. It's like he's trying to discern the type of person that you are. And you know that this would hurt any other person. They would strike out, scream, reach away, but nothing.
Oz is a little freaked out. It's obvious that Oz is a little like freaked out. And then he's just like, well, I'm just being myself. But you know, I was actually wondering. And he's like, what can you do this? Well, maybe I don't need to wonder anymore, actually.
And at that, I kind of stop Oz. You know, not to stop him, but I just say, I know that might have looked a little crazy. But we don't all have pretty speeches. And I don't know. I felt I could maybe do that in front of you and I wouldn't be judged. I've been through a lot, and we all have our ways of grieving and remembering the dead.
So what exactly does that do to help you remember the dead?
General curiosity.
Looks like it would hurt.
It's probably the first time anyone has ever asked you about this. You might hear people speak under breath about the face, look at the scars. But this, you took a shot in the dark, maybe in an attempt to sort of see what Oz is made of. But there's general curiosity, almost childlike.
Because it's permanent. That'll always be there. Just like Petrov will always be with me.
Like you said, everyone deals with death their own way. And he kind of like lets Pecker out of the bucket and like throws a little bit of food on the ground, and Pecker goes and eats it. And then he just kind of like watches it in the rain and looks at you and says, well, I understand that. I lived a pretty hard life too. But, you know, it's not about the past. That's not really what defines us. It's about what we do now. And I would say what you just did there, well, that was mighty cool of you. I thought you were about to punch Gib in the face, which honestly, I was kind of feeling like I wanted to. I almost acid splashed him in the face. I have a problem with that.
I'm not going to lie. I would actually pay copper to see that.
Next time, it's happening. I
At this,
expect some copper.
I kind of stand up and I kind of stretch a little bit. And I just kind of go, well, let's not keep them waiting.
And with that, the bizarre bonding shakes. The camera pulls up and away as it ventures back to Kendra's house, once her father's, now simply known as the Loremore's residence. And here we find Kendra walking just up to the point where she allows everyone in the door. She says, you can wait in the parlor or move to the front room. I'll strike fire. I'm assuming that most of you are hungry.
I'm always hungry. Not gonna lie.
I think
Mr.
I'll
Follow be welcome.
dry off by the fire.
Very well.
Just gonna get wet again.
I don't know.
Imperial's like,
fair enough. And then I'll still continue on my way to the fire.
I just had an itch.
I think we all did. Ella's lucky he's missing his camera tonight, but that's fine. It was a good scene. I really like that. So she steps away, and you find the five of you in the room. It's dry, as you still seem to drip beads of maybe sweat or rain from your body, from your armor, your equipment, whatever you happen to have upon your person, which is most of everything you brought at this point. But it beads upon the floor around you. She comes in, she places down a tray of what appears, for all intent and purposes, looks like the equivalent of trail rations. Dried meats, cheeses, various fruits, not cut. There is a dagger or what looks to be some sort of cutting utensil there. And she says, please have at it. I can't eat all of this myself. And she strikes a fire. She moves over, breaking down a log into tinder.
as soon as I'm given permission, I'm in it. But I have some etiquette when I'm eating. I'm not a savage.
Eli will
Civil.
join immediately because he's so hungry, and also because he was actually a little impressed with how Oz handled the situation with Gibbs without any bloodshed.
Okay. All right. Perfect.
Oh, is that cheese? Oh, excellent.
It's a large wheel.
It's now a smaller wheel.
Yes, you just take like half of it and put it on your plate.
You should try eating the
Oh.
cheese after a puff from your pipe. It makes it smoky flavored.
That sounds
Oh.
delicious. I want smoky cheese now.
Do I see them smoking?
Yes. Yes, they're not exactly shielding. In fact, once you get into a place where there is light and the rain is not sort of removing some of the sharper edges, you notice that it almost looks as if Torvin has several pouches that he holds very, very close to his person. Each of them marked a different color, and he seems to be pinching from various pouches what looks to be tobacco. Each aroma very different than the other as he packs his pipe tightly.
I am infinitely jealous, but too proud to say anything.
I would like to give Torvin an opportunity to potentially see that. I'll make it difficult
cannot.
because you're
He
a
cannot.
fairly,
I'm a stoic man.
fairly
and you can
stony
never,
demeanor.
yes, you can never anticipate my emotions or feelings.
fairly
like a
stony
real
demeanor.
man.
Let's see.
That's
let's see
why
what we got.
you're intriguing as hell to Oz.
Give me a perception check, Torvin.
I might even be a little hurt that you're smoking with him and not me.
That is not excellent, but you've got lots of luck rerolls. Your call.
I do, but I'm not going to use
Okay.
one.
All right. So then you are none the wiser. You do not see
Mm.
his jealousy. And that's fine. It was brief, a flash, but then back to stony demeanor. This is the first that you've likely seen Kendra smile, just hearing this mild camaraderie as you all sort of begin speaking of something that is an equal passion. Food. Food. It brings the many together. Temerity, she notes your silence. Is this not to your liking? I can fetch something else.
Oh, please, no, I'm fine. I ate right before I came, and I'm not very hungry. I'm by the fireplace. I'm presumably warming myself up. My coat's very long. It's a little damp still, and I perhaps make a little show of that to ease her questions, but depending on, does she look like really like, if you don't come over here, then I will be personally affronted? Okay.
Not the case. She seems, okay. I mean, despite the fact that she has been performatory, like very, very welcoming, she is fairly stony demeanor as well.
Mm-hmm.
But when you immediately turn that down, she's okay with it.
Oz is not. Oz hears that, and Oz is like a little like blushing, kind of comes over and is like, "Well, what's your favorite food?"
Are you asking Kendra?
No, he's asking Temerity.
Okay.
Anything that nourishes me, really. I mean, food is food. Meat.
But
I mean, cheese is
you gotta have a favorite, because I'll tell you, there's a difference between, and he just kind of like rambles about spices for a moment and then comes back to it.
All right, so then, okay, which one is your favorite cheese on over there? And I'll like take a stride towards the table because I can see the end game here. And she'll like, she likes this little dude, and it's more like, all right, which cheese should I have? I could eat something, I suppose. It's never a bad idea. Now, which is your favorite?
As you move over to the table and you ask Oz, what is your favorite? Kendra exits the room with the instruments that she was using to start the fire, and she sort of looks to Rye to sort of avoid him, but at the same time, when you say, all right, which one is your favorite? What's your favorite food? She says very, very quietly, probably only that Rye could hear it, or if someone else was close enough to Rye. She says, I do prefer chicken.
Is she flirting with me?
Give me a sense motive.
She wants to eat my chicken.
I think we all want to eat your chicken, let's be honest.
No.
I don't know why, but I feel like she might have just flirted with me.
Sure, yeah, it feels
she
right.
Wants the pecker.
Feels right.
Feels right.
She might have been a little.
She wants the pea.
She's interested in Pecker.
She's down for nuggies.
Dank,
Oh
can I
wow.
know nuggies?
I'm gonna sit on that feeling for a second, because now I'm starting to interpret the other encounters differently. See, now Rye's really in his head. All right, well,
Rye's having a daydream.
Is there any
wet
fish?
dream, a little wet daydream.
First she threatens you, and then she flirts with you.
Well, I mean, maybe the threatening wasn't threatening to begin with. Maybe that was part of the dance. Rye's on another level with this. Is there any fish on the table? Any fish at all?
No, there isn't any. This seems to be like a pork, a dried pork.
Oh yeah, I'll dig in for sure.
Okay.
I just start eating, and I just start getting in my head, contemplating the. I'm just running through the situation, you know.
Sure. I think the others
that's all I'm doing.
Would probably
I'm pretty preoccupied.
Would probably notice this at this point, that he's been very standoffish, very quiet, aloof even. But now while he's not quite shoulder to shoulder, he's not afraid to move in and eat. You can tell something is moving over his mind. He's deep in thought.
I'm gonna lean back as he approaches, almost like not like I'm recoiling, but kind of like he's getting closer. I'm backing up, and I'm just gonna blow a couple of smoke rings and give the pipe back to Torvin.
Torvin, you can bear witness to this.
Lad, you okay there?
Yeah, fine.
Oh, I should
This
have
is a
asked.
mighty-
Would you like some tobacco?
It is mighty fine tobacco.
Are you guys talking to me? Who are you talking to right now?
I believe Torvin's talking to you.
Yeah, I'm talking to you.
Oh, you're talking to me. Oh, okay.
That's how
I'm
deep in thought he
sorry.
is in that moment. He's just, Loud, are you fine? And he's just like,
I'm still going through the ramifications
I like
of the
the
whole
idea
Kendra
that
thing.
he's just like, you know, the person that's like math is just going on in their head.
Oh yeah,
in their
like
head,
the
but to him,
background.
he's like, it's just like these incidents where she like touched his hand and she like talked to him, or when she touched him by the casket.
Yeah, that's what
Now-
I'm thinking. Now it's
now he's
all
like,
yeah. Man,
yeah.
I
He's pogging hard.
cock-blocked myself.
Right.
Is what
It's
I
full
did.
Zach Galifianakis. Like,
I get brought out of thought by this offer, and it almost takes me a second to realize what you asked. And in that moment, I feel like I might look a little vulnerable, like that maybe I wanted that all along because I wasn't really prepared for the offer. And I nod at you and say, yeah, that would go nicely with the meal. Thank you.
No problem. Look, wait a minute. I've got my normal dress pipe here. You can have my travel pipe, okay? And wait, you can have my combat pipe. There you go. Oh, I start pulling out my pouches.
What are these? If you entertain the idea, please, just to show a little bit of design, intelligent design for the character. What do these pipes look like? What are they made of?
Well, the dress pipe is a rough cut wood. It's, hand shaped. It's more for dress. Of course, the outside, the weather pipe has a covering over to make sure that I can, keep a nice warmth, going. And of course, the combat pipe is basically a standard one, but the back section here is all made from metal. So whilst you're actually handling it, it's basically stabby.
Oh,
So you've got a backup option.
it's like a punching dagger. It's intense. Okay, all right.
I ask him
dwarvish.
which one's appropriate for the context.
Oh, whichever one works.
I grabbed the combat one, unsurprisingly. What tobacco are you offering?
Well, some of these don't actually have names.
I want those ones. I could stand to have a little of that.
And this goes on for a while and sort of breaks out a little here and there, probably mixes a few of them together before Kendra inevitably comes back in. And
I do want to say that the goal of what Oz was trying to do was he was going to prestidigitation the food into being whatever
okay.
Temerity really wanted. That was his goal. Like, what does she really want to eat?
Yeah.
Is what he's trying to impress her with his mad cooking skills.
Sure.
I think that she literally is like, I eat what's put before me.
Which is also just infuriating for him in regards to
Sure.
like he's trying to impress her and then it's just not working out.
Do we hear any of this back and forth at the table?
I'm
Wait, it's
assuming that
very obvious what Oz is doing.
I'm
Oz
assuming that
is
it's
not
not
hiding
quiet.
it. His intentions are he's hardcore trying to flirt, but it's not working really well in his favor.
Oh.
Because Temerity's like, I don't know, I just eat food.
Yeah,
Which
I just
one's
like,
your favorite?
I like food. Like,
I like food. Like,
Wait.
it's nourishment.
Wait, Oz is making a move
Mhm.
on Temerity right now?
trying to flirt. Yeah.
Yeah,
Hey,
yeah.
back out of this sphere.
Oh, I'm listen.
Temerity, can I get a sense? I'd like a sense motive. You are adept at determining what people's motives are. I want to see what you can do. Oh, this is pretty transparent. It's pretty transparent. I was like, so tell
Like,
me,
she
what
doesn't need to roll. It's
kind of flavors you into?
So I would say that changes nothing, and that my change of heart with I just like food to okay, show me what you like is all in with like, okay, let's go. Show me what you like. This
Okay.
is adorable. Like, I think it's adorable.
Sure.
With my tail like kind of swishing around like, oh gosh, let's do this.
Wow, the
This is how this is
fanfics.
gonna go.
The fanfics are coming. I'm
Oh, yeah.
feeling it.
The tail wrapped around the bucket with the pecker.
Oh God, I might have to walk away.
This is why you're here, people.
All the
So-
while, I'm still excited to see what's happening with Eli's sweaty body over the top of Torvin holding him up.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, I would be upset. I will be very upset if there's not at least 3 to 5 different. Like, we need the speech, we need the battle pipes, we need like we need all of
I
it.
earned my tobacco.
Want
okay?
more banner.
Yes. Hey, buddy.
You don't have my permission to capture Rye in art. Sorry. It's trademarked. You're not allowed.
Come
None of you are
on. I
allowed.
want to see the scene where we're like sitting over the cave and you're like burning yourself and Oz is like,
Oh, I do too, but Rye's a real stickler about this.
By all means, guys, if you want to put out some fan art, just drop it in the Discord or tag us on Twitter. We'd love to see it. I imagine everybody here would be happy with it. I mean, within realm of reason, please don't be super weird.
Yeah, leave
You know
those
what I
for
mean.
my Discord.
Yeah.
Yeah, make sure you don't put any peckers in it. I mean, when you talk about super weird, come on,
What?
Bob.
Pecker's the star. We all know that.
Make sure your peckers are, I don't know, Twitter appropriate. I
Yeah.
don't know. I've seen some accounts. I've seen some shit on Twitter. So
I think
I'm gonna
we all
let you
have-
know. Pecker looks ridiculous. Look up Polish chicken. That's what Pecker looks like, but just like really chonky, like a chonky version of that.
80 pounds.
So,
I said 80 pounds, but I actually think now that I like thought about it more and I was looking it up, I was like probably more like
so
16 to
we're
20.
talking about a chicken.
yeah.
Just so you're aware, 12-year-old off camera.
Yes, we are.
This is mom of the year. Sorry.
20-pound pecker.
You'll learn when you're older. It's fine.
Yeah. So I will
Oh, I
allow
love
the
that.
flirting.
Sure.
Like I think it's quaint. I see it going nowhere. So I am just but I see no harm in it either. So
Right.
like why not make the little guy feel like he's having a good night, right? Show
Leading me on.
me what, well, who know relationships have started in weirder places. Like, hey, okay, so
Weirder than a funeral.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, shit too. But the so okay, cheese. You like cheese, but what's your favorite food?
Well, I got a lot of options there.
Okay.
Kendra makes her way back in. As you can see, Oz
He
goes into
lists-
this like
he lists off,
1,000-yard
okay.
stare. There's a lot of options. Oh boy.
Is this turned into like Bubba Gump shrimp? Like
Yeah, it depends on like which category, and like he just goes into it. It gets
how about
it's clear, and he's like got like a sparkle in his eye, like he loves like he has a passion for food.
okay? No, I'm not gonna say fried chicken. You absolute jerks and shit. Like
He does not say
it's
chicken.
hilarious. So I would say, how about did somebody ask out loud about fish?
Yes. I did.
Yeah. Yes.
I don't know, a nice fish. I mean, I don't know, now that he said fish sounds kind of good.
What the fuck? Okay, hold on.
Oz makes
It-
whatever she's on her plate taste like fish.
Is Rye hearing this right? Like, is he picking? I mean, is it obvious to other people that this is a flirting situation?
Yeah,
Temerity is
from
not
from
as
my perspective.
as forward. I don't think Temerity is necessarily
No.
flirting as much as she's just receiving, and like it's cute, you know.
It's
But
complimentary.
Yeah.
But did she just flirt with me too?
Who,
With
me?
the fish comment?
Oh,
Yes.
Kendra did. Oh
No, sorry, Rye's in his head right now. He
Yeah.
thinks
Oh.
I'm his flirter.
Yeah.
With
Sense
the
motive.
fish comment.
Everyone's hitting
Sure.
on him.
Sure.
I know
He's
the
into
answer.
that fishy smell.
So you overhear that? Yeah, you know I do like fish, and Rye, like it immediately hits your mind. Now Kendra and Temerity are both in your mind. Like, are they? Wait a minute, is this happening? Is this real?
I'll reach up and like touch my horns, but not like on purpose, but just like
Rolling in such like now. I want to
I
know
don't want
if Rye. I want to
thank you,
know if
sweet-
Rye
oh, did you get it for me? Oh, then I'll
that
have
they're
one.
both
Thank you.
flirting with him.
Kendra's back in the room at this point, and she breaks the awkward tension, and Rye's somewhat misplaced face, and asks, "So, I'm sorry about before, but how did you all know my father? He didn't exactly tell me the names of the people that he'd met, but you were named. So how?"
So just as she asked that question, I take a bite of cheese that tastes like fish, and I just go like, "Huh?"
I'm also gonna tense up because it's gonna make the memory of what happened, go through my head, and bring that back.
For some of you, it's a moment of weight lifted. For others, you can tell that the burden really strikes up as the tension builds in your shoulders. Some of this was not as pleasant of an opportunity. She notices that. I don't mean to bring up any harder times. If you don't feel comfortable speaking, Then
Oh,
please.
no hard times here for me.
No, I'm gonna swallow quickly and just look, because I figured it out, right? Like I just said fish, and I'm just gonna give Oz the side eye and quickly interject. Like, I knew him from, your father was a great man. He helped me in many, researching many things for both my Inquisition training and work. He was a great man, even if I haven't seen him in years.
Aye, lass, there's no problem. It's just many a decade ago, may even be before you're born. He was researching in an area up in the north, and it's giant country. So I provide services for him at that time. It was quite some time ago.
Rye speaks up. It was pure happenstance, actually. I just happened to save him from a mugging. That was it.
Well, I ran into quite a beast up in the hills and managed to live to tell the tale. So I helped him out, gave him some information on how he might be able to deal with that. But I won't mention what creature it is.
You can tell that it's a bit of a wound, a sore spot. And she glances over to you, Oz.
I was just about, well, probably 10 years old. It's a long time ago for me. Well, half my life, I guess. I was just in a store. Everyone was kind of looking at me a little strange, like I was gonna steal something. I don't know. But I just really wanted to read the books. And Professor L was there. And he chatted with me, and then just kind of friendship bloomed from there. He's taught me a lot. I mean, he's the only person that I think really believed in me. Thought I could, learn a thing or two.
She takes it in, and you can tell she's sort of mulling this over. And she glances around. I wish I had as many interesting stories to say about my father, as I'm sure each of you do. I didn't really see him much until I was about 15, when he retired from Lippstadt. And even after he retired, he was not around much. By the time I was 18, I had sought my own way to study at university. I always felt like I had to prove something. It's hard knowing that no matter how much you study, how much you work, that you're never even remotely close to being the smartest man in the room. And I lived in that shadow, and I appreciate what he's done for me. I just wish I could have known my father for a father and not a figurehead in the community of people that knew him better than I did.
It's not always easy growing up without the support of your family, but I'm sure he had the best intentions and worked to make the world a better place so that maybe you could be more safe.
That's what I keep telling myself.
Rye tenses up a little bit at what Eli says.
Yeah, same.
Oz says, well, my mama gave me up when I was about 3 weeks old, so I understand what it's like to not know your parents. I guess my people just don't think about family the same way. But just so you know, I'm here for you if you ever need anything.
A slight smile paints her face, never quite breaking the lips, but enough to really kind of shake a fear. I'm grateful that you had arrived, I had my doubts that Minnie would show. My father wasn't friends with Minnie, but to find that he had named 5 in his last will and testament outside of family, direct kin,
Well, that's perfect. You can count them all in one hand.
It was impressive to say the least, and... Well, you are a ragtag lot. Some of you cut from very different cloth. And that's very much my father. It's his brand. I can appreciate that. I'm grateful that you're here, and you are more than welcome to stay the eve. It is very, very late, and Vashian Hearthmount should be here soon. I'm not sure what might be hanging him up at this point. She seems very pensive, nervous. Socially, I don't want to say that she's inept as much as she is used to standing in a daunting shadow. And she kind of like points to the room when she says that you're welcome here. It's at this point that you sort of start taking things in. Before you just walked in and you were peering at each other, trying to size each other up. Now you're all sharing a meal, sharing tobacco, memories. And you're really getting a feel for the Lorimore house. It feels a lot less like a home and more of a private collection. An absolute trove of knowledge running the entire length of most of every wall, floor to ceiling, short of the stairwell where your eyes stop, led only by a few familial photos and works of art dressing the aged wall and stripping paint. A collection of literature and works from around the world, covered, bound in leather, hide, others bound in things that we should not question. Petrus Lorimar was known as a worldly man and rather competent in many subjects. It isn't until this very moment that you recognize the weight of that mind, the loss of the knowledge that will never see quill meeting parchment, and what secrets he possibly took to his grave. And you realize now that though you're standing in the room with his blood kin, she's asking you about her dad. It's an odd sensation. Probably heavy for some. So I guess she's trying to relate as much as she can. Her story is very different than yours. Her home was not lost. She was not stripped away from her family, or vice versa, family stripped away from them. She simply never knew the greatness of her father in the way that each of you did, regardless of the circumstances. And there you'll hear the rapping at the door. She stands immediately, shaking that nervousness, leaving it lingering in the room for each of you to stare, when she introduces herself to the man at the door. Mr. Vashian Hearthmount, you overhear an exchanging of words. For those of you that keep track of time, that watch the stars in the sky, that follow the moon, if you count, it's very, very precise. He's right on time. He steps in, and he thanks everyone for composing themselves in the face of the mild and foolish opposition that was Gibb and his men. He declares, I sought to Sheriff Kayla, and the men and Gibb will be reprimanded. They are determining what a suitable judgment to be passed upon them. Since it never saw anything further than hostile words, I'm assuming a reprimand will be enough. Or do you seek a harsher punishment? He looks to all of you in the room.
Whatever the local laws that govern this place find as a suitable punishment, I will support.
Aye, they should know what was wrong, but no blood was spilt and the job was done.
I mean, we did ask them to leave and they did. Perhaps it took a little more stern asking than was necessary, but they saw the error of their ways and dispersed.
Rye, his eyes fall on you last.
I was the one who actually made them all go away.
I throw my eyes over to Oz and give like a shrug. Like I seem I'm not bothered by any of this. Like I'm just like, yeah, sounds good.
Okay.
Whatever.
Very well. Then, unless anyone else wishes to chime in, he nods quickly. He says, very well, then. I believe that we should move forward. The night is quickly coming to a close, and I still have things to tend to and my family to see.
All of a sudden, Rye speaks up. Actually, it would be nice if Gib was it. If he'd give an apology to Kendra, specifically.
He glances down for a moment. Very well. After I leave, I will speak to Sheriff Kaler again. I'll usher this and see if it is fit and it goes through. Kendra, my apologies. You will have your apology soon.
Did Kendra see me do that?
She did. She heard
Cool.
it. She was definitely there.
All right.
I mean, like, are you looking like right at her when you do that?
No. I'm very,
Like puppy dogs?
very reserved.
Okay, all right. Noted.
Oh,
All
dude,
right.
she's hot. I'm with you, Ray.
Okay. With that, the councilman moves to the rear side of the desk, and he begins to clear a space. Kendra assists in this, and he produces what appears to be a scroll case. You notice that it shows the professor's personal seal, and that it is unbroken. After brandishing this, showing this to each of you, that has been unbroken, he follows through and snaps the wax seal on the case. As he does so, there is a clinking as a small iron key falls from the tube and clatters noisily upon the table. Unshaken by the key, the councilman begins to read, eager to be done with the various business and get back home. I, Petros Lorimor, being of sound mind, do hereby commit to this parchment my last will and testament. Let it be known that, with the exception of the specific details below, I leave my home and personal belongings entirely to my daughter Kendra. Use them, sell them, whatever you see fit, my child. Yet beyond the bequeathing of my personal effects, this document must serve other needs. I have arranged for the reading of this document to be delayed until all principals can be in attendance. For I have more than mere inheritance to apportion. I have two final favors. To my old friends, I hate to impose upon you all, but there are few others who are capable of appreciating the true significance of what it is that I have to ask. As some of you know, I have devoted many of my studies to all manner of evil, that I might know the enemy and inform those better positioned to stand against it. For knowledge of one's enemy is the surest path to victory over its plans. And so, over the course of my lifetime, I have seen fit to acquire a significant collection of valuable but dangerous tomes, any one of which in the wrong circumstances could have led to an awkward legal situation. While the majority of these tomes remain safe under lock and key at Lepidstadt University, I fear that a few I have borrowed remain in a trunk in my Ravengrow home. While invaluable for my work and life, in death, I would prefer not to burden my daughter with the darker side of my profession, or worse still, the danger of possessing these tomes herself. As such, I am entrusting my chest of tomes to you, posthumously. I ask that you please deliver the collection to my colleagues at the University of Lepidstadt, who will put them to good use for the betterment of the cause. Yet before you leave for Lepidstadt, there is the matter of another favor. He swallows. Please delay your journey 1 month and spend this period of time here in Ravengrow to ensure that my daughter is safe and sound. She has no one now to count on that I am gone. And if you would aid her in setting things in order for whatever she desires over the course of this month, you would have my eternal gratitude. From my savings, I have also willed to each of you a sum of 100 platinum coin. For safekeeping, I have left these funds with Embreth Daramid, one of my most trusted friends in Lepidstadt. She's been instructed to issue this payment upon the safe delivery of borrowed tomes no sooner than 1 month after the date of the reading of this will. I, Petros Lorimor, hereby sign this will in Ravengrow on the first day of Calistril in the year of 4711.
Oh, man.
What in tarnation?
It could
Was that
make
100
so
or
much
1,000
armor.
platinum?
That's
He said 100 platinum.
100 platinum pieces. That is 1,000 gold.
That's nuts. That's like your lifetime of
The-
like an average, like more like
The average servant
extravagant.
or worker in the world earns 10 gold a year.
Huh.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. And where is that money?
That money is with Embreth Daramid at Lepidstadt University.
We have to
And
keep
where is
Kendra alive
Lepidstadt?
for a month.
So we got to, okay. Oh, man.
Before
So we
we
gotta
can get
keep
that.
Kendra alive for a month. Then
And
we
have
gotta
to
go get
deliver
some
the
shit
tomes.
and then bring it somewhere.
You,
At
And I bet the keys for the
Mhm.
trunk.
I'm going to step away for just a second. You guys talk amongst yourselves.
Oh,
Where do we have to
man.
go? Leopard
gotta not
hunts
forget about the key.
University, something.
Lepidstadt.
Yeah, Lebestadt.
I don't know.
So
I-
there's dangerous tomes in his home in Ravengrow. And
So-
we have to keep Kendra
I
safe
guess
for
is
a
the
month.
key opens the chest of
Yeah.
tombs.
Why does
That's
he
my
think
guess.
Kendra's not going to be safe, though?
right. Why is only a month
Yeah.
gonna keep her safe?
Yeah, right.
Yeah, I think
Some
Oz
kind
will
of
probably
ritual
open
or
up with that
something?
first because that sounds like the most imminent
Right, like-
danger.
I'll keep her safe
Oh, see, here we go.
longer than
100
a month.
platinum could go a long way to helping your cause, Torvin.
Dude, as soon as
I love it.
100
And
platinum,
tobacco.
dude, as soon as 100 platinum is said, Rye just starts like rubbing his chin and pacing. All right. 100 fucking plat. That's a
The-
lot of dreams coming true.
I want to know if the note
Dreams for
specifically
me and you.
says that we all have to do it.
Oh, that's a good
Aye.
question.
Is it a requirement for all of us to do that, or can one person just deliver it? I mean, probably we'll need more than one person to keep her safe, but we don't know that.
Each of you have been asked to do this, that if you wish to acquire the wealth provided, that you would see to an Embreth Daramid who is expecting you in 1 month's time, not a day sooner.
So we may as well all work together then, as long as we all want the money, because then it'll just we'll
yeah.
just make it easier.
I eye Eli when he says that. In fact, I'm starting to eye everyone around here.
Oz immediately goes, Well, what exactly do you think we'd need to be protecting you from, Miss Kendra?
I do not know. And she looks to Councilman Vashian Hearthmont. He looks to Kendra, and he says that it is time that he leaves. She thanks him, of course, and walks him to the door.
Can I detect evil on Kendra?
Yeah. Nothing says that you can't.
I know I can do it at will. I'm just curious. I don't know. Maybe like there could be like a curse on her or something. Or
When he does this, is it subtle or is he like speaking? Is it like or is it just like a feeling he gets?
Does he like put up little fingers? And just
it is.
Yeah,
it is
'cause, like, is this
spell-like.
obvious
It is
that he's, like- Like
This
all of a
is
sudden,
spell-like
yeah.
ability. So, like, honestly, he doesn't have to say anything. He doesn't have to use his hands. It's, for him, it's like a blink.
Yeah,
He basically,
I-
it's like changing lenses on a camera.
Like it's Sixth Sense.
I would say like maybe like a flash of glow in the eyes or something for a moment, like a scan kind of thing.
a waft from the skin.
If that's what you want it to be, then that can be the canon. Magic works differently for every person. It's all upon their own brand, right? Everybody that has any form of magic It isn't just given to them from a god. It shapes to the vessel that provides it its home. So you provide this magic, even if it's from divine, it's your brand. So if you say it's a golden glow to your eyes in that moment, then that's what it is.
Okay. So do I just click detect evil then, and it'll do its thing?
No, you just let me know that you're doing it.
Oh yeah, I would like to just quickly, since now that I know Kendra is the main objective is to keep her safe. You know, maybe it doesn't have to be that she is evil, but maybe there's like a curse on her, or you know, someone has placed something like that. I mean, I guess so. I don't know if that
Sure.
was detected or not.
You glance over Kendra, and as you seem to be watching her, it is only briefly, right? You don't have to have it on very long. It doesn't take a while to warm up. It's not like an old Ford Model T. You just turn it on, and you can turn it off that fast. And when you do, there is evil in the room, though it is not Kendra.
Do I need to roll perception for that, or will
No.
that tell? Or okay.
You see this man very ham-handedly eating cheese, eating dried ham. It's rye.
Of course.
In the background,
I already knew that.
I'm just petting my pecker, and I'm like, you're going to eat well for the next, well, probably the rest of your life.
I'm willing to ignore the fact because I kind of had assumed that already off of a feeling that I had
Sure.
without using the ability. And he has done nothing in front of me
Right.
to warrant any sort of repercussions, just knowing that he is evil.
Right.
If he's not committing it in front of me, then lawfully I have no reason
Correct.
to pursue that.
Correct. And that
But he's sus.
a lot of people
He's sus.
A lot
I
of
got
people get
my eye
weirded
on him.
out, right? Like alignment seems like it's a sticky thing and people feel like you have to adhere to it, but I don't think so. Alignment is a sliding scale. He can't consistently do evil things. He is prone to doing good things. Villains oftentimes don't think that they are the bad guy. They think they're doing the right thing. And alignments can shift. It's a sliding scale. It's not a hard stuck thing.
And
Rise
people who are good at being evil are like, they get away with it.
generally.
Mhm.
So he might follow some tenets or some laws. Whatever it may be, he stayed alive this long. And short of Torvin, Rai is probably the oldest member of the group.
I think Oz
So-
is probably the youngest, right?
I think so,
So
yes.
I'll turn
I'm
to
just like
Torvin
munching
and
away.
say,
Rise is eating.
I'll start with Torvin and turn to him and say, so what do you think? Is this something? Does this sound like something you'd be willing to pursue and work together on?
Well, of course, if that's what Professor L wants, I'm doing
It
it.
wasn't a plan, but this is some assistance.
I never have a plan. I think that makes for the best adventures. And also the best meals.
So that makes two then. I'm going to try to rally the group into committing to working together.
Okay.
It would make more sense.
Maybe we
We
should
should.
figure out a rotation to protect Mrs. Kendra then, if that
Aye,
seems
well,
to
we
be a
need to-
concern.
We'll need to discover what the actual threat is and actually contain that as well. Like these tomes, if we can contain that, what else are we concerned about?
Where is this trunk full of dangerous tomes? And what is that key on the floor? Or do I have to roll perception to...
It's on the table. It was
Okay, it
very
falls
obvious.
out pretty... Okay.
I would assume the key is for the chest.
Aye.
Kendra is passing by when you say that, and she says, I know exactly this particular chest. It was one that he kept under his bed, and I'd seen it many times before. He's had it for forever.
Have you ever looked at it?
No, I never had a reason to. He was very earnest with me. Admittedly, this is the first that I've heard of this. But I dared not invade his private space. He kept very little private. If he wanted this to be a secret, there was a reason.
Well, I would have looked.
She steps away. She seems to be heading in the direction upstairs. You can hear her footfall as the heels clap to each step.
I'm gonna go help the lady carry the chest. And he waddles to chase her.
I'll move to pick up the key, and I'll say, well, I'll look after this then, and
Just,
slowly
taking a look at the windows.
The windows are, it's a bit of an older style. It's not like what you would expect, clear glass. It's all stained glass. Each of it, honestly, is depicting a varied god. You would even find Torog.
Yeah, knowing that Rye is evil for certain, I want to make sure that the key is protected and in my possession.
Okay.
So that perhaps things don't go missing.
Yeah.
Actually, the opposite of that for me. As soon as he picks up that key, Rye speaks up. So, we're just gonna be a merry band now. We're just gonna do this, and you're gonna be in charge.
Well, Rye, why don't we put it to a vote?
Why don't we leave the key with Kendra?
I would hate to involve her any more in this and put more responsibility on her that could put her potentially in danger, since one of our jobs is clearly to protect her. I don't remember you saying you wanted to work with us anyway.
I think that I'm rolling with the punches like everybody else right now.
Fair enough. You seem useful.
Well, one thing we can agree on is you should put the key back on the table till it's all decided. Is that fair?
Perhaps waiting for Oz to return would be best, but let's not leave it out of our sight for now.
Do you put it back on the table?
I'll reluctantly put it back on the table, but I'll stay within reach, within arm's grasp of it, because that seems to be, even if it's not for the chest, it came with the will, and we don't have much information to go on.
Sure.
And it seems very important. So
I nod, and I seem good with it.
Okay. Torvin, you witnessed this. I'm not even sure what you would call this at this point. It doesn't really seem like it's a pissing contest. It's like an exchange of power, trying to see the boundaries. It sort of feels like that. Like it's a shoving of boundaries to see who's going to react X way.
and it just falls right in the center of the key on the table still.
Temerity would have been witness to this entire experience. Now, whether or not Temerity has much to say on it, we will find out now, hopefully.
Temerity's daughter made her unable to hear the stream after all.
Okay.
So I will need a quick primer and then I can react. I apologize.
What was the last you heard?
As I was leaving, we were just talking about how, like, if we all had to do it, would we all get the money?
Yeah.
And then there was something about the key.
Oz
and then I had to.
Oz and Kendra stepped away to fetch the chest. And Eli stood up quickly, grabbing the key. Rye chimed in, basically saying to protect it, more or less, that maybe we should just leave it where it's at. And Eli wants to kind of put it to a vote, or we could just wait it out. Either way, there was this like an exchange of power at this point, trying to see whom is going to react X way. Is this going to be? I think Eli might be looking for some hostility.
I see. Okay. I'm
just trying to protect Kendra, and that's the best way to do it, I think.
Okay. All right. I think I got it. I'll look at Rye. No, not Rye. I'll look at Eli, because you have the key, right? I
put it back on the table
yes.
at Rye's request, until Oz returns, so that we can all discuss it or
Right.
maybe put it to a vote.
He was trying to protect the key from, well, I assumed he was just trying to get the key. I asked him just simply to place it back till we can decide what to do with it, and he did.
Okay. Well, I think that's sound.
It's actually
This
very
is-
agreeable.
Right. Okay. Right. Well, I would just be like, this seems wise. We've been asked as a group. For some reason, the professor thought we should all work together. So I feel as if that starts now.
Is Temerity like a super insightful person?
No.
Okay.
And my diplomacy sucks, so I'm just
Like
basically
sense-
blunt.
Sense motive wise. Okay.
Oh,
Cool, cool.
yeah. No. Just like pretty plain. Like, no, he trusted us all to work together, and
Okay.
that's what we shall do.
Good. Good. It's a little clunky, but I'm digging the relationships that are forming thus far.
Well, are you saying that you're willing to work with us then? Because Torvin has agreed to, continue in this venture. Rye said he's going to, I quote, roll along with the punches. And we've yet to hear from Oz.
Well-
So are you in as well?
No, Oz says he was in. He said it earlier.
Okay, gotcha.
So
He's
it's just me.
He's just not in the room at the moment.
Right.
Yeah,
That's
Oz had
right.
said
Yeah.
that he would do anything that
Right.
Right.
was requested.
So I would, I guess, look over one shoulder and then the other. I'm still here, right? Haven't left. I think that's. I'm in. I didn't do it. Is there something we have to sign? And I'm mostly jokey, but I'm not really smiling about it. But I might sound a little jokey.
I fully expect to be met with some sort of resistance. I'm trying to get a feel on everyone's position at this point to see who can be reliable, because my God is all about protecting the innocent, and so I'm just gonna try to put 100% protecting Kendra, and the money's great and it would help with my shop and stuff back where I live, but it's
And I was-
not the prime motive.
No, excuse me. Ryan,
You don't even have to work in your shop anymore if you wanted.
I think you can pick
Right?
this up as well. It doesn't seem like he's trying to instigate as much as he's trying to kind of get a feel for those around him, right? Like it's testing the metal, if you will. The camera's going to shift. It's going to pull back. Oz, you have a few moments alone with Kendra as you follow her up the steps. She weaves around a corner and dips to another left to the furthest part of the house, and it's a small study. There was a small
Y'all's
cot.
house is pretty amazing. I don't think I've ever lived somewhere this big.
It
I don't think I've slept anywhere this big.
was excellent for hide and seek with
Oz's eyes
with
go
our
big.
with our maids.
Why do you say it like that?
They were my friends, or they were paid to be my friends.
What do you mean paid to be your friends? That's not how friends are supposed to work. But you know what? That's actually a really good idea. I wonder if I could pay people to like me.
Actually, I would take that job.
Is Oz in the room?
No, Oz is upstairs with Kendra.
Oh, okay, all right.
No, he's just being.
Unfortunate.
She doesn't say anything to that.
All the party members was like, I will take your money, Oz.
Yes, yeah. If
I'll be
wow,
talking
if
a
you'll pay me
daily
for
rate.
it.
Oh, I was gonna say I would be your friend without money.
She doesn't really
Aw,
say
The ship is sailing.
anything to that. I wonder if I can make that a job. And she just she kind of grunts a little and she enters into the room. It's a sore spot. You notice when you glance around, going up the stairs specifically, the few art pieces that depict the family. When she was very, very young, the mother was still in the picture, but something happened clearly right around the time she became a teenager, and her mother was no longer in the picture. You notice that there's this almost pallid depression that falls, and the happiness just seems to deflate from every photo going forward. You can tell particularly that Petra seems fine in every picture. If not aging, a little strained, but fine. However, Kendra seems to lose a lot of life in some of the art going forward. But she moves into the room, hastily finds the cot next to the work desk, and seems to kind of muster. It takes a moment for her at first, but she moves it out. Drags
While
her.
she's moving it.
Yeah.
I think Oz is like, well, I'll be your friend, without someone paying you, just so that's clear.
She
I was just saying that, like,
stands up real quickly,
I don't
like
have a lot of friends.
from working. Her hair's kind of having like these flyaways from the tight bun. She's like, were we not just in the same room? You are to spend the next month with me, and then you will be given a sum of 1,000 gold. Would you say that's quite similar?
It's a little different of a situation.
I suppose. I don't see much of a difference, but I suppose.
I know this is probably not the best time to bring this up, but it might be pertinent to my studies in the current moment. But I noticed there's some pictures in the hallway as we were walking.
Mm-hmm.
What happened to your mom?
This is very heavy. Why don't you help me?
Oh, yeah, I can help you with that. He's gonna try, but he's not the greatest. What would you like me to do? Athletics?
Just a strength check. You just need to lift it up.
All right, here we go. 13.
It's heavy. It's heavy. It's probably 3 times as heavy as Pecker. And Pecker's
This is
still
like 3 times the size of Pecker.
still just hanging on to the bucket, and she doesn't even help you. She was going to. She was trying, but when you brought up her mom, it just completely like shut off. Faucet closed, gone. Well, come on, let's not leave them waiting.
All right, I guess I can carry it, but he's just trying to carry he's mustering all his strength to
You're
carry
just
it, and he's
waddling.
like
You're doing like
grunting, and like
yeah.
he drops it every once in a while and like picks it back up.
Am I seeing this?
The milkman's carry. Oh, yeah, you probably hear it. Like you heard the waddle up the steps and the occasional like cluck, but now you're hearing like as Oz is muscling down this. It's honestly not a very large chest, but it's solid.
Is it obvious that he needs help?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Okay, I walk over and I kind of huff and puff a little bit, and I just kind of walk over and I attempt to pick it up.
Oh god.
You do just fine.
You-
It's about 65 pounds. It's very, very heavy. But you could tell it was enough to like really cause a lot of distress for Oz.
Yeah, I wink at Oz and give him a smile, and then I pick it up and take it over to the table.
Oz smiles and like mouths, thank you.
Kendra slowly makes her way down the steps after he collects this oak chest from you. And do you place this chest down somewhere?
Yeah, I'm gonna put it on the table, kind of at,
Okay.
arm level.
Okay.
Next to the key.
Yeah, next to the key. Yeah.
Kendra will enter into the room, moving behind the desk that Vashian Hearthmount was using to display this to you. And she moves slowly at first, but she grabs onto this iron key, and she kind of palms it between her fingers, like almost as if she's fidgeting, before inevitably she outstretches her palm and arm. I think it's only fitting that one of you open. You were supposed to be here, and if I was supposed to see this, he would have shown me a long time ago, and he doesn't want me to have anything to do with it, so...
I'm so curious what's inside of it. He grabs the key and he opens it.
Okay. She passes the key to you.
Can
Like,
I-
super excited.
Go ahead.
Could I cast Detect Evil on the chest, or would the first time that's just for the room, or would that be the whole house?
I
That's
detect magic as well.
Okay, that's perfect. I don't even need to then.
what does
Well,
detect
evil's
magic look like?
different.
What does
Okay.
detect magic look like for you, Oz?
Oz says some weird stuff in Goblin,
Okay.
which probably is alarming for some other people in this party
I am concerned.
who don't like goblins.
Okay. All
And
right.
then he like kind of like holds the key and like like does some kind of like weird motion and like pulls out a little bit of something out of his pocket, which probably looks like nasty stuff from his pocket.
Uh-huh.
And you just see like a spark go off.
When
I'll
you
glance at Torvin and like a look of concern, like that's some goblin talk right there, and there's magic going on with this hobgoblin.
yeah,
now.
you each of you give each other the eye, right? Like the all knowing, like, oh
Yep.
shit, okay,
What
all right,
about
we
this
know.
one?
We know.
I don't know. I had cheese that tasted like fish. I'm just watching.
This is where
I
things
detect,
get a little wild. Under normal circumstances, this would work just fine. But one of my patrons called in a wild magic on the first actual spell of the game.
Well, prestidigitation was the first spell.
True,
Oh no, my fish.
but I didn't
oh,
catch
no.
that. I didn't catch
Okay,
it.
okay.
This, however,
Okay.
I did catch.
I was like, technically that was my first spell, was when I cast it.
Dude, I love that. I love that style of DMing. Okay, yeah, you're right. God damn it. But you know what? I didn't catch it. Let's go. Like, I love that.
Mhm, same.
I mean,
I
I,
love
fucked
that
up.
so
I fucked
much.
up. It happens. So
Like I don't have
Yeah,
to
we-
proactively
I'm cool with it.
have
roll a
I-
D1000 for me, please.
Okay.
Can't roll
Yeah, you
that
just see
back.
so many DMs
Oh
I'm
like,
gonna-
you know, like they're like, oh, you know, all the
1,000 or
time. It's like,
10,000?
1,000.
Because I know different people do the 10,000 versus 1,000. 351. 351. Here we go.
darkest timeline.
Do I
Okay.
grow like an extra limb? Am I gonna grow wings?
I mean, a lot.
Am I
A lot
gonna turn
can.
into mirror teeth?
A
What's
lot.
like, aren't there some really ridiculous shit on this
I
list?
know. I
yeah.
just
Oh,
named
yeah.
off a few.
A lot.
Like, can't we even
a lot
open a
can
black
happen.
hole or something?
Yes.
We,
Yeah, we could all die.
almost literally did that last game.
And if you get to like the 900s, it's bad stuff.
So, let's see here. What?
350 was early.
And a
Maybe
black
I lose a
hole.
limb.
This,
This
and
is-
I'm very frightened.
This is very. This is a very simple
Or
one.
Terrified.
someone near me loses a limb.
Very, very simple. Very, very easy, and it's a
Oh.
good introduction for an explanation of the magic in the area. 351. Stinking cloud. A stinking cloud centers on the target. So you begin to speak in Goblin with your somatic casting. It's a very, very simple spell. You've done it a million times. You've perfected the art. But something happens. Something you weren't expecting. Your vision
I
doesn't
fart.
glare over. There is no shine or shimmer, and where you would typically detect this, a noxious cloud erupts from the top of this chest.
Uh-oh.
That wasn't me.
A terrible
Probably
smell.
me.
A terrible smell. Moments before you hear Oz speak like blah or something, just goblin, and then poof, stinking cloud erupts, beginning to slowly pan out in the room.
Cover the pipes.
Sorry, I did not mean. I'm looking at my stuff. What I have, I did not mean.
I
to,
thought you were like,
although it's
"Death!"
appropriate.
Death to the stink!
Eli is gonna turn his head and vomit onto the floor all that cheese he just ate.
It's pretty putrid. It's pretty rancid smell.
I'm getting rid of the fire source just in case the cloud is flammable.
Okay. All right. Seems good. And it takes a few moments, but it dissipates. Oz, this is super foreign to you. It's so bizarre. You've never seen anything like this happen. It is the most basic of spells. You've done it a billion times. You have no idea
All right.
what's happening.
Oz says that after he's like holding the key. He's like, well, that's never happened before. I promise I've done it like a million times.
Kendra chimes in.
Not the
Mm.
smelly part, but like the I was just
There's
trying to
something that you should know. There's a reason that Father chose this location over others. He was a practitioner of magic himself, and he declared that the arcane was stronger here, unstable. That rituals oftentimes would yield unexpected results. He used a term I cannot remember, but essentially he said that all of Golarion births magic from elementals and from higher beings, dragons, he said, and he spoke sometimes metaphorically, but he said this was a place, there was a convergence of these things that crossed, and magic was wild here. So do not be surprised from time to time if your magic, be it arcane or even divine, falter. Simply just try again.
How in tarnation am I supposed to protect you if my magic doesn't even work?
Rye steps up, and I just kind of look at, yeah, Wyld, and my axe, you know. Yeah, I just kind of step up and I say, you know, for now, perhaps we can hold back on the magic.
Well, it still worked, right? Does it still do its job? It just also did this other effect at the same time?
Completely replaced it.
No, replaced it. Okay.
Are you looking at Rye's face?
I mean, yeah, probably when I'm talking to you.
My eyes are like super puffy and red, and I'm like basically crying.
Are you like getting allergic to something? Are you upset right now?
You say that? You say that to him?
Yeah.
I'm
I was
fine.
just like, I have a +7 in sense motive. Like, I feel like he's really insightful.
What
I
does
like
Pecker
tried to
think
step
about
up.
the smell.
I like try to step up to kind of like be like, I'll handle it, but my face is all like still contorted from the fucking smell of the stink.
So
You're like,
I'm
are you
gonna-
all right? I'm like, actually, no. I'm gonna step over here for a second.
So I see this. I'm just gonna reach into my cloak and just pull out like a handkerchief and just here, and wordlessly, just put it in front of him. Not gonna touch him because I've seen how that shit happens. But
Do you really do that for him?
yes,
Oh my gosh, that is like so nice. That's like this super nice thing. I pick it up and I kind of turn away. Like I don't want anyone to see me using this thing. But like, yeah, because like I think it looks really dumb to have this little hanky and I'm like trying to use it. But I definitely use it. And then like I like look at you and it's kind of like wet and my eyes are kind of puffy and I'm looking at you and I'm kind of holding it up. Like, what do I do with this?
it's yours now.
I accidentally sneeze, like, and I use it really fast, and then I realize, oh no, I'm sorry. Like, I didn't mean to. I was just gonna use it for tears, but now I've like sneezed in this thing, man.
It's really yours. You may do with it what you wish.
I'm like
You're
nodding
on
at
this now,
you,
lad.
and I'm trying to keep from having anyone see all the snot coming out of my nose right now. But I'm like giving you the thumbs up, and I'm looking over. I'm looking back at Oz, and I'm like giving you like the side eye real bad because that stink cloud fucking sucked. So I'm like really like not happy with you right now.
I was just looking around and he's like, I'm sorry I made you cry. I
Oh
didn't
my
mean
god!
to.
Oh
Can
my
I-
god! Why would you say that to Rye? Why would you? You fucking little motherfucker!
I'm gonna laugh a little under my breath, even though I just puked at that comment.
Can I can
gonna
I
use
use
the key.
spellcraft to see if I know why he's like, if it's something else? Like, can I tell if this is the magic or if it's him just being emotional for some reason?
Sense motive. Let's see if you can pick this up. If you have any luck rerolls, now's the time to use it. We've got
Yeah, I
like,
mean-
there's not very much time left in today's session. Are you being earnest, Rye? Or like, is it this?
Just over exaggerate. I'm just over exaggerating the. I mean,
Okay.
You just
yes,
having
the
some fun.
Stink cloud.
Having
Is,
some
yeah,
fun.
yeah. I'm having some
Okay.
fun. Stink cloud's fucking my face up. You know?
Yeah. I got you.
Fine.
Everybody seems so nonchalant about the stink cloud. I just felt someone should be really affected by it. Okay, like Rye's
sure.
got to be the guy to take the fall. He will. He's fucked up right now.
Sure,
Okay.
I got you.
Well, Oz is just confused why his spell didn't work. Let me try one more time. Maybe
I thought it
this
came
time
from the case.
it'll work.
So you cast
Uh,
again.
he's-
Yeah, that
Trying
didn't
to
come
get-
from the
Hold
trunk,
on,
did
hold
it?
on. Maybe
he does it any.
maybe
I leave
we
the room first?
benefits, like the benefits versus the like. Are we trust the professor? And I'll look at Kendra. Has this left the like? Do we trust that this has been in a safe place between the professor's ownership and ours?
Kendra's face is
I don't
just,
think we should open it, but Oz jumped too, so.
Oz didn't open it. He's just told he detected magic again.
Kendra's
Yeah.
mostly confused. She's not had any visitors. She says
mean,
that. I've not had any visitors. I don't see an issue. I mean, my curiosity it certainly exists, but I I do not wish to smell that smell again.
Nor do I, but I also do not wish for anyone in this room to die.
Oz,
At least not now.
you cast Detect Magic. This time, it functions.
Well,
And
see now, it's working exactly how I thought it was supposed to. I don't know what just happened.
how long do you train your eyes on this?
Maybe I ate too much cheese.
Fish.
Um, he pays attention for a while. Like he's like examining it. He
Yeah.
turns the box around a bit. He's trying to make sure like
It takes
Goes it
about
over.
it takes about 6 seconds before you finally can start seeing
and the
that
key.
there are weaves of magic. Arcane runes seem to line in various spots of the chest. It wraps this almost like it's some sort of a present. And the magic similarly is dressed over the key. They were definitely designed to connect to each other. But the more that you focus on this, there's magic inside. Different properties, different schools, families of magic. Some of it far more intricate than others.
Well, there's a lot going on with this box,
You see,
but I really want to know what's inside the box.
Do you really need to know?
On the level of need, yes, I need to know, but I'm also a little afraid. But that's kind of the excitement of it all.
I
this is
don't
meant to
like
be
that he's
delivered somewhere.
afraid.
Are we are responsible for bringing this box to is it, can you say that word again? It's I wrote it down.
Lepidstadt.
Lepid,
Yeah,
oh my
Lepidstadt.
gosh.
To an Embreth Daramid.
Rye just asks, he's kind of composed himself a little bit. He just asks if it's valuable.
Which part?
Oh.
The what's inside the chest.
Of course,
Well, I'd have
it's
to-
valuable.
I
Open it
dare
to know
say
if
so,
it's
and probably
valuable,
to
but
the wrong person too.
Kendra,
I appraise the box.
as you're appraising the box, Kendra explains to you, well, I would assume that it's worth right around 100 platinum pieces in a month.
Hmm.
That's
that's
fair.
right. She is kind of listening. Oh man, I guess
We should be careful because all of the contents need to be delivered in a month, or we might forfeit our reward.
Well, I think we have to delay our trip for a month before we
Yes.
leave. And then, I mean, does it matter how long it takes? I'm not saying we should take forever, because I know we all have things. Well, I know I have things to do, but how long do we have? I don't recall the will saying, just that we had to stay here a month to ensure Kendra was safe.
As long as the contents all stay within the chest.
How far away is the University of Levenstadt? Or Levencheck?
Lepidstadt is about 5 days away.
Okay.
right. Oh, go
Oz
ahead.
gives you the exact amount of time. He's like, well, it's about a month and 5 days. Because, we have to stay here for a month, and then we have to travel to the university, which is probably going to take about 5 days. Well, that's only if you're real fast. I think for me, sometimes I have to take a ride on a milk cart because I can't always get on those other things because people think I'm going to steal from them or something. So it usually takes me like 10 days to get somewhere.
Are you going to open the chest?
Actually, at that, Rye speaks up, and Rye says, "Actually, on that note, didn't it say something about not exposing Kendra to the books inside?"
I believe you're correct, that he has protected her from the content. So I think I have to agree with Rye. And I might
Aye,
be slightly surprised, but yeah, and it sounds like Torvin, do you concur?
The chest of tomes is for you specifically, for the 5 of you specifically to handle. It is not her concern.
Oz is like,
Perhaps we
shaking
should
back
ask
and
her to
forth.
leave then while we inspect the...
But we also need to protect her.
I would hate to be so rude to our host, but it is in the will.
I understand, and I do not fault you for it. I can step away. She turns with a bow.
Perhaps.
She'll leave the room.
And while she does that, I say, Perhaps I should go with you. I'm not keen on magic, and we
I
are
like
here to
that
protect
idea.
you.
I think someone should stay with her if he's worried about us protecting her for a month.
I've grown from a child in this house. I believe that I can protect myself in my kitchen, and I am more capable than you understand.
I believe
Sense
you.
motive.
It doesn't take a lot to sense there. You know that she's capable of magic. You witnessed it firsthand.
It's true. All
So
right.
she doesn't need tomes.
Would it? I basically ask her if if it would offend her if I was just nearby.
By all means, you can accompany me. I'm just going to, and she looks around for a moment, seeing the empty food tray restock. It seems that we have some very hungry mouths.
I look at her and I say, I know that I'm big, but I'll be sure to get out of your way. And I wink at her and I smile a little bit.
She's going to sense your motive?
I was hoping you would lure her away.
I'm just
from
gonna throw it out
flirtation.
there. I'm just gonna throw
I
it
do
out there
wanna
that
see,
I am not. I'm not being
Oh.
coy. But like I'm not. I'm playing it cool. I'm
She
not
has the same sense motive as me. That's high.
outwardly. I'm just I'm being polite in a flirty way.
In a
She started it with
flirtatious
the
way.
chicken talk. Okay.
You
He,
keep her busy
he
for
has a
us,
thing
Rye.
for the
I even
Peckers.
started calling her Kendra.
Her brow,
That's how much I respect her.
brow tenses in the center when she very, very deftly picks up on what you're suggesting. Right. Well, then I'll find you a seat in the hallway so that you don't hurt yourself being so large.
That works perfectly fine with me. And I smile again. And I kind of motion for her to lead the way.
Okay. And she'll find what looks to be a small like hallway lounge couch. It's not very, very deep, but it's just enough for you to sort of like shelf your backside so that you're not going to fall.
I shelf my backside.
And you can see in the kitchen, she is starting to peel away some of the wax wraps to break out more cheese. She is opening up a dryer shelf so that she can pull down more meats. And she kind of glances back over a couple of times just to see what you're doing. Are you you giving her the stink eye? Or you what what are you doing here?
I've just got my legs out and crossed and my arms crossed. I'm sitting and I'm just sort of kind of watching her and
Not
just
burning
sitting
yourself
there.
or anything.
Yeah, I look real relaxed.
Okay.
I look so fucking chill. You have no idea. I look
Okay.
not bothered at all.
She will produce a carafe of what you can probably guess is like a wine of some sort, and she'll ask for your aid to come in because she can carry one or the other. The carafe is probably right around 4 pounds. It's very, very tall. It's probably every bit of like 2 feet tall, and it's just think like a large glass milk container,
Okay.
but it's just filled with wine.
I ask if she minds if I pick them both up and take them.
By all means, a true
I
gentleman.
move slow so that she knows that I'm not a threat. And as I'm lifting up these crates, I'm doing it real slowly. I'm not flexing, but I'm very methodical about my movements.
Sure.
Little showy, maybe a little bit. Just
Sure.
subtle.
Give me performance.
Yeah, I like that. Let's see.
Excellent.
I re-roll
Excellent.
this.
You can't go with a 4 performance. Okay, 14's better.
How many more re-rolls do I have?
How many? I think you've used 2, so that would be your third. I think you have 2 left.
Okay, I'm gonna use one more.
Okay.
You cray.
You
I
gonna
gotta
use
use
that
my
last
last one. Yep. Come on.
Oh
There it is. There it is. I wasn't gonna settle for anything but the best. All right.
Wow.
I'm putting
All
it
right.
on. I'm putting it on.
I'll leave it to. I'm gonna give her a roll here.
Yes.
You can't tell. You
She's impressed.
you cannot tell if she is impressed or if she is unimpressed, but
She is.
your focus in the performance is maintaining that this does not spill. You do not drop a single drop of wine. A rye nut falls from the side of the tray. Nothing happens. You manage to usher this back. Beautifully so. Beautifully so.
Thank you.
So, you usher this back. Now, the four of you, camera focuses back on you. It's going to be about 3, 4, 5 minutes before they return. Oz, do you open the chest?
Oz is like she's shaking. You can all tell of shaking with excitement and really wants to open this box.
All those juicy spells in there.
But he's
I'm
also
very
like
concerned.
kind of
These-
waiting for everybody to be okay with it.
This is closed and locked for a reason.
I want to know what we're dealing with, so I'm okay with you opening the chest, Oz, so that we can perhaps see
As
what
soon
it
as he gets
is.
the go ahead, he's putting the key in.
Okay.
May as well.
The key fits the lock perfectly, and with a small creaking shift, the lid slides upward, revealing several old tomes. And one relatively new tome. They're incredibly large in size. The newest tome sits atop and bears the phrase, "Read me now," scratched into its leather cover. Upon investigation, it appears to be a personal recollections, or more commonly referred to, a journal. The other 4 tomes have notes tucked into them. Do you wish to investigate them further?
Yes.
Okay. Removing the notes from each of them, 3 of these indicate that they are to be delivered to a one Montagny Crowell. Montagny Crowell, a professor of antiquities at Lepidstadt University. And the fourth tome, a very interesting book, a rich purple cover containing a brass scarab set with a single eye in its center. This note is affixed to the top. It's not inside. It suggests that it should be delivered to an Embreth Dermid, a judge at the Lepidstadt courthouse. The note suggests that the matters should be handled discreetly. It includes her personal home address. He was never one to mince
Correct.
words, so you know that this is important.
Wait. Say that one more time, just so I'm clear.
Correct. The book, the final book, the rich purple book with a brass scarab set with a single eye in its center. There's a note affixed to it that declares that this is to be delivered to an Embreth Dermid, a judge at the Lepidstadt courthouse. It suggests that the matters should be handled discreetly. It includes her personal home address.
And her name is?
Embreth, Embreth, Dermid, Daramid.
It's the
Yeah, we
same
were told
person
that all the
we're-
tombs need to be delivered to her.
Yes.
Exactly.
But now you know that 3 of these others are to be delivered to a Montagny Crowell. He
Yeah,
did
that's what I was
say-
about to ask. Is that's okay? So we're okay. I got you.
He does say
Could
in the document that it is to be delivered to his colleagues at the university, one of
Gotcha,
which was
okay.
Embreth.
Yeah, I heard 2 names. That's why I was trying to.
Correct.
yeah.
Could I attempt to read the thing that says "read me"?
Yes, you can.
First, read
Yes, you
me.
can. Let me pass this to you. This is the journal, his personal recollections. And I will include this to you now. All players, you will have to increase the size of it, and then you can click and it will increase the overall size so you can see exactly what it is.
Ooh.
But this is, for all intents and purposes, recordings from his personal journal. And as in all personal journals, a majority of the entries are relatively bland, accounting for day-to-day activities in the small town of Ravengrow. But you note that he has circled several entries in the book with red ink, as if he wants you to pay specific attention to them. I'll read this for the audience. It says, 10 years ago, "The Whispering Way is more than just a cabal of necromancers. I see that now. Undeath is their fountain of youth. Uncovering their motivation does not place me at ease, as I thought it might. Their desire to be eternal simply makes them more dangerous. The next circled entry is 2 months ago. It is as I had feared. The Way is interested in something here in Ravengrow. But what in the hells can it be? 1 month ago. Whatever the Way seeks, I am now convinced their goal is connected to Harrowstone. In retrospect, I suppose it all makes sense. The stories they tell about the ruins in town are certainly chilling enough. It may be time to investigate the ruins, but with everyone in town already being so worked up about them, I'd rather not let the others know about my curiosity. There's plenty of folks hereabouts who already think that I am some demonologist or a witch or something. These ignorant fools. 20 days ago. It is confirmed. The Way seems quite interested in something. No, strike that. Someone who was held in Harrowstone. But who specifically is the Way after? I need a list of everyone who died in the night of the fire. Everyone. The Temple of Pharasma must have such a list. 18 days ago. I see now just how ill-prepared I was when I last set out for Harrowstone. I'm lucky to have returned at all. The ghosts, if indeed they were ghosts, for I did not find it prudent to investigate further, prevented me from transcribing the strange symbols I found etched along the foundation. Hopefully, on my next visit, I'll be more prepared. Thankfully, the necessary tools to defend against spirits are already here in Ravengrow. I know that the Church of Pharasma used to store them in a false crypt in the Restlands, at the intersection between Eversleep and the Black Path. I'm not certain if the current clergy even know of what they and their predecessors have hidden down below. If my luck holds, I should be able to slip in and out with a few borrowed items. 17 days ago. Tomorrow evening, I return to the prison. It is imperative that the Way does not finish. My caution has already cost me too much time. I'm not sure what will happen if I am too late, but if my theory is right, the entire town is at risk. I don't have time to update my will, so I'll leave this in the chest, where it'll be sure to be found, should the worst come to pass. This was the last entry in his journal.
Why didn't he ask us for help?
I don't know, but it seems like the Temple of Pharasma might have some answers we're looking for.
So,
Do you think he found those
Turn to
tools?
Temerity when I'm kind of saying that.
and I. Does this sound like undead to me, or does this sound like I don't know? Because he keeps mentioning Pharasma and the Temple of Pharasma.
More than that, he keeps
He mentioned
He said
necromancy
ghosts.
with
He
the
keeps-
Whispering Way.
He keeps
Right.
mentioning the Whispering Way. Now, I'll give to anyone here who happens to have knowledge religion, knowledge history. Let's see. Knowledge religion, knowledge history, or hell, even knowledge local. If you'd like to roll to see what you might determine based off of this information.
And that's proficiency with it, right?
Correct.
I'll use a reroll. I think I have
Go for it.
2 left. Go ahead and use my last one.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's better than the first one.
Torvin, I think it is redeemable that you might know this simply because of your age more than anything else. You've caught wind of this. But Temerity, as an inquisitor in the church, this is explicit interest to you. When the Whispering Way comes up, it's enough to raise the hackles. This is important, nothing immediately worth writing off. The Whispering Way have gone back in history thousands of years. They're a society of necromancers who seek alliances with the undead. many of them being undead themselves. And their most famous member is Tar-Baphon, the Whispering Tyrant. Though the Order is far older than he is, as far as you know, that's what you're aware of. What you can also say is that they never write down their secrets and beliefs. They maintain that such knowledge can only be transmitted by whisper, whatever that means. They're a silent bunch, and any time that you've encountered them, they have far more than a foot in the grave. That's what you know, Temerity and Torvin. Temerity, yours is specific study. Torvin, yours is just history. The rest of you don't know. You've never heard of them.
Do you think he found those tools?
I think he found more than that.
We could
Well-
find out.
It seemed like he needed them in order to get there to slip in to see those runes or the symbols on the foundation.
Rye, you're returning at this point with the wine and the tray of food. You see that they have opened the box. Books. A few of them. They seem to be very focused on one leather-bound journal. And they're discussing what could have happened. Why didn't he ask for help? What's the Whispering Way? Do you think he found the tools?
Do they notice me and how good I look?
Oh, I'm engrossed in the fact that some undead organization is about to get their ass kicked.
Okay,
I
so
noticed the wine.
so I
you're
wasn't
carrying.
bringing that energy from the last scene into this scene,
You might have been. I
but
think
nobody
we...
was. Okay,
Right. It's like you
Okay.
walked in all like
No, I get
hot,
it.
and we were like,
The
I
mood
love it.
completely shifts. It's like stepping into a brick wall. You manage to maintain, but their focus is definitely elsewhere.
honestly,
I sense you there, but I'm focused on the stuff.
this is kind of awkward. I feel like I should just put the stuff down and then head on back.
Can my Pecker see him and walk up?
Probably.
Yeah. All right. Well, a fat chicken comes running up to you.
As you're
Oh,
placing down the
man.
tray of food, there is a 20-plus pound rooster with almost what looks like an exploded or an extruded head. You can't see the eyes. You can only see a beak. And it seems to be near you, but it's also like turning to peer down at the tray of food.
I look at the chicken and I'm just like staring at it. Is there anything on the tray I feel like it would eat?
Probably some of the nuts.
All right. I grab a couple of the nuts and I look down at him and I just kind of toss a few at him.
Sure. And it takes a moment of him pecking down, but yeah, he'll muscle a few of them down.
I look up and I see that they're all very engrossed and they seem to be very like in their thing right now. And I don't know, man. I feel like I hate to be like the standoffish one, but I feel like I'd head back to my job. I had a job and that was watching Kendra. So
Kendra
I
is
feel it-
standing in the hallway. She's not entered the room, but she's actually watching you feed nuts to the chicken.
yeah, I toss a few down and then I turn around and kind of head back.
When you
her
turn around,
direction.
you see her watching you. She definitely catches this, and this is the first break in her facade.
Yeah. I don't know if is it a more appropriate perception or sense motive. So I've already perceived this. So I guess sense motive maybe would be more appropriate.
It's not hard to see. Her hands are like clasped together like this, and it's very close to her chest, and her lips are pursed, and she's just watching, seeing this almost kind gesture. Something that you have not been most of the time. So it's a bit of a shock to her, a surprise, a nice one.
He's just
Oh.
fattening it up.
I see. Oh, I'm fattening him up. Yeah. Perception is reality, right? So I am a hero to this chicken, and this is awesome. So I notice her watching me. I just sort of shrug at her, like, sorry, I didn't know what to do. Like, I didn't mean to just I don't think he's picking up on the fact that she's like, he thinks it's weird, but I don't think he's picking up on it.
Sure.
I think he thinks that she is mad at him for feeding the food to the chicken. You know, like
Yeah.
the,
I
it's
gotcha.
not really a couth thing to do to
Sure.
throw a bunch of nuts to the chicken. So I'm kind of like, sorry, but I thought, you know, like, oh, I was just gonna throw him there. I kind of give her like a, ooh, you know, kind of look. Is there anything like sinister about it?
About the chicken?
No, about her like watching me. You know, what I
No, nothing like that. You wouldn't even get an inkling of that ideal. Nothing at all like that.
That's why I want to make sure. Okay, yeah, because I don't know if people staring at me and shit, it could be good, it could be bad. I don't know. So yeah, I kind of fumble a little bit. Like I might even mouth sorry to her, like, sorry, you know, like, yeah.
She doesn't say anything. She just like pushes her hand out, like it's okay, or like don't. It's fine. And she's just watching, but her eyes kind of move back to the desk where everybody's gathered around, and she seems to kind of like lean from one side to the next, and then just you see her almost like rolling her eyes, and then she walks away.
I follow her. Not like follow her in a creepy way, but like, you know, that's my job, is to make sure that she's out of the room and they can investigate what this is.
Gotcha. Sounds good.
So yeah.
She just starts minding her business. She goes into the parlor and starts picking up from the small showing, the open casket showing.
I pull out a deck of cards from my pocket and I just start kind of flipping through them.
Sure.
While I'm just I go sit back down, I guess, in the hall where I might, you know, I'm giving her some space,
Sure.
but I'm staying nearby.
She pays no mind to it, and she stays fairly occupied. It's like an idle hand sort of thing. You know, she just buried her father, so it's probably a little weird for her at this point. And she understands what you're doing, what you feel like you're doing, and you can tell that she's just staying busy for the sake of being busy, not for actually needing to do anything. So, the rest of you gathered around this box. You read these, you continue pandering ideas, but then you see the other 4 tomes. Some of these are a little easier to read. Others are in a foreign language. Does anyone here have comprehend languages?
I have read magic.
Okay.
It's as close as I get.
How about linguistics?
Well, I mean, I have one in.
Sure.
I have a 1 point. It's not checked, right? So I don't have it.
I'm gonna keep that.
Yeah.
Oh
no,
my gosh.
This is definitely a language you are not familiar with. This rich purple tome is you don't know.
Is that even words though? I mean, it could just be images.
It's definitely symbols. Definitely symbols.
I mean, I know.
Looks like art.
Yeah. I mean, maybe it's just. Is it directions to something using like a map?
You're not sure.
I don't know.
The other
Oh
books.
no, I mean like it looks literally not like words. Like
Yeah.
I'm just messed up.
Can I do knowledge arcana?
You can. It will be difficult.
Okay. 18.
Not enough.
Ooh, I can re-roll, but it might be worse. Should I do it, chat? I've got. What are we?
Yeah, nothing to lose.
That's true.
It can't be worse than spinning.
I've
3
got
luck
2 more
rolls
re-rolls
on
because I did 3 and we have 5.
On a
So
performance.
yeah, let's do it.
Yeah, on a performance.
17. All right, got 1 more. No, it just kept going downhill from there.
Yep. You thought you had something, and then it just kind of went.
So I've got knowledge.
I've never seen anything
arcana,
like it.
And I've got the other one, the linguistics, but they're just really low.
You can try. Like, worst case scenario is you just fail. Yeah, you're not sure. I'll actually share it with you. I'll share the book so you guys can actually see what this looks like.
Nothing from me.
This is what it looks like. Well, you can see what it looks like.
We do not open the Book of the Dead.
Let's not open that.
And just for everybody at home, if you would like to see this, this is what they're looking at right here.
I immediately opened the Book of the Dead.
Oh crap! I've seen this movie. but everyone in it was hot, so not a bad,
Do I have a broomstick?
You do not. I'm sorry, my friend. Not this time.
I'm not touching that book.
The other books,
I don't.
But it is pretty.
a little different. You can actually read these. One is titled On Verified Madness. It is a jet black book, and after opening up the pages just to sort of see what this might be about, it is a treatise on aberrations and other entities found on Golarion that possess remote ties to the Dark Tapestry, the name given to the dark places between the stars in the night sky. Does anybody have knowledge planes? You can make a check on that. See if you know anything about the Dark Tapestry.
We don't know shit about shit in this group. Okay.
No.
Knowledge, religion, and that's it. We're really good at religion.
you know what? I have
It'll be
3 luck
exciting.
rerolls, and
Go
if
for
we're
it. Blow
like
it
a
up.
half hour, so I'm just gonna do it.
Yeah.
Okay,
We're gonna
that's
experience it.
one, right? Exactly. I'm looking real hard too.
Ooh,
You want to stick with it?
better.
Yeah, let's go.
Okay. The Dark Tapestry, while you don't know everything about it, you obviously haven't studied absolutely everything. It's wild, right? It's a place that is more alien than a plane of existence, and most of the knowledge of the place is fairly devoid. Creatures are nebulous, ever shifting. It is quite literally a Cthulhian experience. The tapestry is really just that. Those who have ventured there and come back do not come back without being fractured beings. And those that have gone are incredibly potent, powerful individuals. So a lesser being would go there and fracture infinitely more, if not be completely eradicated. That's called Unverified Madness. Another is Serving Your Hunger. It is a copy of a text of several unholy books sacred to the goddess of Urgathoa. When you open it up, Laura Moore's notations liberally sprinkle the margins. Knowledge religion, if you'd like to know more about Urgathoa. Temerity just bombing some rolls
what's going
tonight.
on with you?
I don't know.
That's okay. I only have 5, like an extra 5 in that,
Yeah.
so that was it.
She nat won with a 6.
Okay, this is much better. Eli and Temerity. Urgathoa is the Varisian goddess of physical excess, disease, and the undead. She is mostly worshipped by dark necromancers and the undead, and those wishing to become undead. Sometimes those who live gluttonous lifestyles make supplication to her, as do those suffering from serious illness. Her emblem is an upside-down skull that has been painted in to look like a fly of pestilence.
I don't like anything in this box.
The last book is The Umbral Leaves. This is a lexicon. It's a translation into common of the unholy book of Zon-Kuthon. Another religion check, please.
Trying to take notes. Okay. Ooh.
Very good. Very, very, very good. The deity Zon-Kuthon, the one that possesses the most twisted and evil minds in the great beyond. His position as god of pain is well established and earned, and he has been the root of countless tortures, murders, and infinitely worse through time. His emblem is the human skull with thorny chain running through each of the eye sockets. He's called the Midnight Lord and the Prince of Pain.
But to be honest with y'all, I'm real curious about this, but I also don't want to die.
So I would say that I noticed that I'm not the only one who's understanding a lot of these, or like
Eli
would I notice that Torvin
Eli is probably making a lot of the same faces of you, just like Torog would not be okay with these other gods by any stretch of the means. And as a paladin, even he hasn't said it, you've probably picked some things up. As a paladin, this would be a big no-no for him.
Yeah.
Dead is getting smitten? Smoted?
Smoted. Definitely not smitten.
Smited.
Smited.
Smote.
Accidental bonfire.
Smitten is what Kendra is.
Oh yeah.
Something
Or
like that.
Oz, depending on.
Smoten is
you know.
what you will probably do to me at some point.
So I will make sure as we go through these that I am passing along the Cliff Notes version for those who don't seem like muttering many of the things aloud that are that I know, to make sure that everyone's on the same page. I don't sound pleased. It's the undead all over the place. And
Oz is pretending that he like nodding along with all of you all, giving information like as if he knows these things, but it's not.
I'm just looking more confused as more is being explained.
I wonder what use the people at the university will have for these. They seem fairly similar with their theme, from what I understand, of dealing with necromancy. And if there's any necromancy going on, and it had to do with the professor's death, then I will pledge my word to find it and to bring it to justice. And if you don't know, out of character, if you don't know, Torag, one of his main things is when I give my word, I have to follow through. It's like an oath.
ooh,
And it's
an
a very
unbreakable
big deal for a paladin to give their word for something like that.
What if it gets real sketchy and we're like not gonna survive it? Then what?
Then the professor picked us to do this task. He picked us all.
I
He
don't
knew
think
what
he
we can do.
picked us to die.
I don't think he picked us to die either. I think he picked us to avenge him.
Well,
And
I
to-
don't know
to
any of
finish the
these
job.
things.
To finish the job that he was investigating. This is the undead are a true scourge of this land, and if there's any, we need to. I feel as if we need to take this seriously, despite how unsettling it may be for you. We'll keep you safe. I don't add little buddy, even though
I've seen enough of what the undead can do to this land and its people, and this is something that cannot go unanswered. And if it means my life, if it brings honor and protection to the people, then it's something that I must do.
But what if it doesn't? What if you just die and nothing else happens, and then all this chaotic stuff just happens anyway? Then your life is just gone.
At least I can die knowing I've tried, and hopefully Torag will find honor in that and accept me into the afterlife.
I have one sweet little question.
Just one?
Why are we waiting? Why are we here for a month?
Because that's what it said.
But
I'm
why?
assuming that while we're waiting here, we could also be asking around, seeing if there's anything that people might have, information they might have.
Are you role playing or are you
Harrowstone-
just trying to recall the information? I'm generally curious.
Roleplay.
Role play. Okay. Thank you.
Harrowstone is just right here. It's in town.
Aye.
quick question that is not roleplay, that is clarification.
Okay.
Were we asked to keep Kendra safe for a month, or were we asked to stay here and keep Kendra safe for a month?
To
Stay here.
stay with Kendra and see through whatever her decision may be, to either stay in Ravengrow or to sell the house and all of the belongings so that she can move on with her life.
Okay, so basically we just got to help her wrap shit up.
More or less.
Okay. Okay.
It's at this point that Kendra's finished whatever she's doing in the parlor. She is sort of gathering some things. She's got some linen that's draped over her arm, something that was probably on the rear side of the casket, and she's passing by, maintaining maintaining some peace, a peace of mind, if you will. And she's not saying anything. She doesn't really take notice to you, like flipping through your cards, Rye. But as she's passing by, she kind of glances in the room. I'm going to give her a check. Just to see. She's got decent saves here. And I've got all my luck rolls. Okay. Yeah, she's going to see this. As you're kind of filtering through the books, you're holding this one up and you're like, that looks more like symbols than words. And she glances at it. And she passes by. She places some things down. Returns back. It looks like she's got like a small pail of water. She's trying to rinse some things, trying to pick up some mess or remove like debris, what have you. And she passes by and she can hear you speaking about the other books.
I'm not picking up on any of this, that she's kind of like being a little...
She's being a little snoopy. Yeah, she's being a little snoopish.
Yeah. And this is obvious to me. I don't have to make any roll.
Yeah, no, I mean, she's like, it's just a passing by thing. Like she glances in the room. Everybody's still guests in her house. If all else fails, she's just checking on the people.
After her like second or third pass, I just sort of say, perhaps you can mind yourself to one side of the hall or the other.
That's a quaint suggestion. Thank you, I'll take that into consideration.
I nod. And I make it look, I'm like, got my eye on you. I basically like point my two fingers at my eye and point them back at her.
She turns back around at this notion and she moves into, not into the room, but into the frame of the door, the arch. And she says, Oz, Eli, the purple book. Can you show me the cover?
I mean, he said not to show you the contents of inside of this thing. So right now you're already seeing stuff you probably shouldn't have seen.
As soon as she asked that, I stand up and I try to like step between, like I want to step in front of her. Like I want to attempt to.
Okay.
And I'll say, why do you need to see the cover?
Well, you read all of the other titles of the books. I'm fairly alert in my own home, and one of them none of you could clearly read whatsoever. And I'm well versed in many languages. It's one of my points of study.
I look back at Eli when I hear him say that, and I just say, it's in the will.
I'm just curious to why she felt she needed to look at it.
I look at her and I say it again.
I'm not here to read a book. I'm not reading the book. I just simply wish to lead you into more information. If I can't read it, then ta-da, you showed me a purple book.
And then I look at her and I just look at her blank in the face. And I say, don't disgrace the death of your father.
By not asking, I'm disgracing my father. The pursuit of knowledge was endless for him. Do you think that I would stop merely at his own word? I am no child. I am Kendra Lorimore, of sound mind, and capable of doing anything that I damn well please.
At this, I look back at her, and I say, and a little bit of a brat too, apparently.
Give me a will save.
Sure. Where are you, Will?
It was almost a 20. It was almost a 20.
When you say that in a little bit of a brat too, she clenches her jaw. You've seen this twice now upon frustration, and it might even be a go-to that she leans into. But there is a muttering under her breath. Her hands come up, make a symbol, and she clutches onto what looks to be an amulet around her neck. And you can't move. You can breathe. You can blink. But you have lost all control of your muscles.
I just stare at her. Just like mean mugging stare, the meanest eyes I can muster. I am piercing right now. And I know I haven't said anything. I mean, I don't think I can say anything, but I'm just piercing her with my gaze right now.
Knowledge Arcana from any of the spellcasters. This is a very, very low level spell. Nothing super wild about this. Most everyone can cast it.
That's ironic.
Eli, it's hold person. It's an enchantment, a compulsion. They become paralyzed and they freeze in place.
This was the exact spell I was hoping she casted on me, just not in this context. See, when I hear hold person, I think she's going to coddle me.
Yeah.
Literal
I thought that was
hold
the case.
person spell. I want to. Rye is
He
a
wants to be
sensitive man.
a little cuddle burrito.
Yeah, why can't the hold person spell be literally holding them? Sometimes we need that.
She
Hey.
looks at Temerity. Can you at least describe the symbol? If you can't show me, describe the symbol.
Your
She
father
really wants to
wanted
give
us
us
to protect.
information.
Your father wanted us to protect you from the contents of this box.
I can ask you to leave. I don't want to have to do that. I just simply want to see, and I very likely will not read the book. It is your property at this point.
And if we take the chest and leave,
Then you take the chest and leave, but you're stuck here in this town for a month's time.
oh, I'm so stubborn. This is the wrong. Okay, so
Be you.
I am right. I'm trying to think. I'm trying to think of the next thing I would say though, because I am in her house though, and this is the daughter of the professor. So there's a lot like.
This is very in the vein of Petros. He always barked up the wrong tree. He wasn't afraid to stare something in the face, even if it meant that he was going to get cut down. Knowledge is power.
You didn't remind me so much of your father. He did say you couldn't see the contents of the chest, but he said nothing about telling you of a purple book,
If
With
you
a
want to,
golden scarab on the cover.
Brass.
That's the one. Is it that one? Because if it's not, I described the book she's talking about.
Yeah.
If it's not that purple book,
Is it steel bound?
it is not.
The book itself is steel bound.
Okay, so we're not talking about the right book.
It is, yeah, the purple book with the
Oh,
this
that's
brass
steel?
scarab. The scarab is brass. Everything else is
Oh.
steel and steel bound, steel locked.
Oh, okay. It looks leather.
Yeah.
I don't have a big enough. There we go. Okay. Yes. Yes, it is.
Is there
It-
any markings or symbols etched into the scarab?
Yes.
Are they wings?
They are, right?
They're not. The symbol
They're
is not
not.
wings.
No. Is it? It's Pharasma, isn't it?
No.
No.
Is
I'm
it-
looking at it.
Is it teeth?
Definitely looks like teeth. Like one of those plants that have the little chompers on them.
Is it an eye?
Yeah.
Yes.
She releases the hold person on Rye. And she looks to you, Rye. She says, "The Order of the Palatine Eye." There. It's Varisian, if you're curious. I can read it. It was a large part of my study. But for all intents and purposes, she kind of leans in the room. I can't open that. 10 to 1 says neither can you.
If you do wish to be helpful, could you point us in the direction of someone else in town that might be able to assist us in either reading it or opening it?
You just buried him.
Well,
Do
why
we?
can't we open it?
Now, why would you want to be doing that?
I mean, look at it. There's probably something important in there.
Which
Or
kind of
evil.
read, so you don't do it.
She points to Eli when you say that. There's not really a lot that is known, particularly about the Palatine Eye. But specifically, that nothing good comes from it.
Well, I don't think anything good's coming from any of these books. That doesn't make me not want to open them and look at what's inside.
If that is what I believe it might be, You probably won't like reading those pages anyway, as it is written on human skin.
Ugh. Humans are weird anyway. No offense.
Hobgoblins are weird.
Touche.
Kendra breaks that bizarre like tension. That's what you are?
Oh, sorry. I might not have known exactly what kind of goblin. Oh, I figure it's.
You could
not
probably
normal.
venture a guess. You could probably venture a
Yeah.
guess.
Yep. In the flesh.
But not the flesh
Hobgoblin.
in the book, though.
That would answer Rye's question.
Not that I know
What
of.
Oz is.
My father wasn't wrong, however. If you wish to discover more, I wouldn't be doing that here. It would be best to take it back to Lepidstadt. To whomever, I suppose, Embreth, I never met her.
Is there any reason why we just don't go down there right now? You could come along. That way we're protecting and doing both things within the will. And rather than waiting a month for some nasty beast to come along, we've skillioned and done the things that were meant to be done together.
She moves to the
I will
last will
keep
and
you
testament
safe.
at the table, and she starts kind of like fingering through the document, and she points to a line. Unless you are just hoping to spend time with Embreth, it may not be valuable, as it appears that you wouldn't receive payment until the day of, not a day sooner.
It's not the problem. The problem is making doing the right thing. That's the problem.
There's something wrong in this town that needs to be taken care of first.
Why would my father have these books? Why?
Well,
You shouldn't even know that he has the books.
What do they all have in common? That's what I'd ask you all. Based on what
Undead
we can
stuff.
see.
that's what it seems like.
Necromancy.
She kind of looks to each of you, like in back to Rye. You're not suggesting that my father was a necromancer.
No, I think that he was trying to get rid of something of that.
She has no idea.
Essence.
Out of game, she has no idea about the journal.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
but that's what Oz says.
Yeah, well, everyone's just spilling the beans to her about everything, so you might as well just let her look through everything. At
Rye,
this
you're
point.
Yeah,
you're
I
free.
think
You can say things.
Yeah,
you can
you
do
know,
things.
Wright does speak up at this
Yeah.
point, and you know, he kind of turns around and looks at everybody, and he just kind of chides them a little bit and says, "I find it funny that out of all of us, I'm the one most loyal to his dying wishes."
What? Standing out in the hallway, letting her waltz all in here? I thought you were supposed to be keeping an eye on her. Where have you been?
Did
She
she
was
detect the
stuck.
magic?
I
Did she
I,
detect?
I did. In Temerity, I think.
Yeah, well, Oz, if you were half the spellcaster you claim to be, you would have known that I was in a bit of a pickle there.
Well, I get inside pickles all the time, and they're delicious.
Is somebody mention pickles?
He
I
did.
could, I
Look,
could
we've
eat
got the
something.
cheese.
I look over at everybody and I say, how do you want me to proceed? She's not supposed to be here. And if I try to make her leave, she casts spells on me. So
By all means.
how would
Seems-
you
I'll
guys
leave.
like?
I'll leave. I was just trying to be helpful.
Nah, one moment. It's a fair comment. So we'll give a fair answer. She's not just a chair. She's not being directed according to what another man has said. She has her own life and her own spirit. She has her own knowledge. That matters. So we do the right thing and we listen as well.
Wright throws his hands up. He steps back down, sits at the table, and he just mutters to himself and says, "Well, then I won't waste my fucking time." And he just sits there.
I don't know. I agree with you, though, Rye. She shouldn't be in here, but I thought you were taking care of her. And then she's waltzing in here asking about what's on the books.
At
Well,
this, I
let's-
slam my hand on the table. I slam it down real hard. Like I'm frustrated now.
I slammed the
I said
table, not as hard.
half of you motherfuckers are telling me to get her out of the room. The other half are telling me I shouldn't. So what do you want me to do?
I don't know.
The less she knows, the better.
So do you want me to take her out of the fucking room?
So I'm gonna look at.
I'm like looking like what do you guys want me to fucking do? You want me to take her out? You want me to put her in? Because half of you say, like, I'll do what you want. I'm asking how you want me to proceed.
Right.
I'm gonna look at Rye, and then at Torvin, and then at Kendra, and say, what do you want to do? This box may be ours, but as you reminded us, this is your house. And I think that you have several options on the table.
The components inside, the objects that you've collected, are yours. And I was simply offering aid. I do not wish to read them, even though I have seen some complimentary manuals on a few of those already. I went to school at the same place my father did. Something about the apple not falling too far from the tree.
I'd say so.
That being said, I have immediately served the purpose. You have stated my interests, and I believe that I've at least netted you an answer much closer than not. I don't know much more about the Palatine Eye than you. I just know the name. I know the symbol. And you suggested multiple times now that my father was killed, that it was no accident, and that is what I want to know now. I want to know who and why.
Well, I guess let's start there. We have a month that we need to assist you. What is your decision? You gonna stay here? You gonna pack things up? Gonna live in this house?
I've never had a reason to stay here. Once I'd left, this was no longer my home, but I have to at least stay and finish what was asked of me. And
What was that?
figuring out what to do with this place. Do I pack up the belongings and take them to my other place of where I rest my head, or do I don't know. I don't know.
I'll let you know. There's some pretty awesome things in here.
Yeah. It's grown far too late. My house is too large for one person. More of this house. The Loramore residence is too large for me. You may stay here free. Free room and board.
That's mighty nice of you.
Exhaust the pantries, claim a bed, and rest your head. It sounds like you'll be in town, at least until I decide what I'm going to be doing.
All right, Lars, thank you.
And with that, the camera will pull back, and we leave with this lingering sensation of not necessarily fear, but trepidation, of unfulfilled desires, a bitter taste on the tongue. And this is where we end today's session. Perfect.
Oh,
Be all confused.
I could do another 20 hours of this, man.
Yeah, likewise.
Well, I hope that you guys enjoyed it all the way through. I know it's not your typical D&D-esque experience. I like to make sure that combat is few and far between, but it's always memorable. So I will be exhausting that when combat comes through. Just know that it's going to be a life and death scenario. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, it's always supposed to press the
what
limit.
are we all doing? Like,
Out of character?
Oh,
what are we all doing for another maybe an hour? Depending on Bub, maybe I'm totally willing to stop here. I'm not trying to break anything up, but
we have so many.
We were only
different
planned
routes.
to go 3 hours. We ran 4 hours, and I've not written any more material.
Okay, all right.
He's
That's
gotta
fair enough.
prepare.
Fair enough.
Yeah,
Fair enough.
I've got to fold over the ideas of what you guys have gone through and how I can change things, because not only did you change some of the opinions of particularly Kendra, you altered the way some of the NPCs of the town think. Father Grimborough, knowing that you were about to be attacked, you continued on with the funeral, and you didn't let the casket hit the ground. That gained major brownie points with him. He's going to change the way that he talks to you going forward. Similarly, based on the Harrowing cards and the way that Zokar feels about your performances thus far, he's incredibly impressed with whom you are. Now, that can be shaken at a moment's notice. There is something very important here to be gained.
Kid.
So hopefully this is something that we can alter and move going forward. But I'm very happy with the pacing of this. I think episode 3 is going to be a doozy, and I'm very excited for it.
One of the things I'm loving is everything is not normal. Like, it's unsettled. We're all still, there's a lot of directions, and we're all feeling it, and we're all showing it. It's great.
Yeah, I know I need to do some reading up on the Whispering Way, because I feel like I would know it very well, and I want to make sure I could react that way.
That's the tyrant that ruled the land was part of the Whispering Way,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
There's a lot of information on Tarbathon, and more than anything,
even though it goes way back before him.
Tarbathon is not dead. His power is beyond what most would assume is control, and he's forever locked away. He is basically held up in an eternal prison. So that's something worth noting.
Yay.
But
I feel like my character doesn't know any of those things, though. That's why I was like,
that's okay. And that's what makes your character super exciting, because you hunger for intuition and knowledge. So this keeps you on and above board. Yeah, I'm stoked. I'm super stoked.
Balance of life and knowledge. Will I live getting this knowledge?
Yeah. Can I add something real quick?
Please, by all means.
Wyld said that everything's so tense right now, and I think honestly, with a campaign like this and the way it's beginning, I think that that's so natural and appropriate. Like I understand the allure of having parties that just immediately meld well together and they're just cracking jokes, and it's like, I get that. However, I think it's super appropriate for the tone, the funeral, the context.
A friend just died, and we all don't really know each other.
And we don't know each other, like
it's
everything is suspicious. Everyone is suspicious of each other.
Yeah.
I feel like I said, I feel like it's super appropriate. I love it. I love that we're approaching it this way, and it's not just like, hey, we're in a group together, guys. Let's go.
Well, and I like that everybody's got a different view on it, and everyone has. But and I do like the mechanic of it being like everyone's forced together, because I know that sometimes in some campaigns it's like, you all just have to kind of decide if you want to go adventuring together, and that's not always natural. I feel like this is like shove them together. Maybe that they don't all have to like each other, but
we all our characters have such different personalities. It's great.
Yes,
it's so
money.
Great.
And you know what? I walked out of here with a hobgoblin admirer. My night's done.
This is the first game I've ever ran where every player was of a different alignment. Every single player is of a different alignment, which is really nice, because more often than not, there's one guy who's chaotic good and 4 who's chaotic neutral.
Yeah.
And it's really, really terrible because, well, they base their unpredictability on, lol, that's interesting. So this is cool to me. It's nice. And, well, I'm excited for it. I've been excited for this group kind of culminating and coming together for a while. And, well, you guys haven't let me down. So
it shows that our alignments are so different in the way that we react to different situations, and I love it.
Oh, man. Speaking of alignment, let's take a moment to fucking celebrate that Cobalt is a new player, brand new player.
Oh, yeah.
And he's playing a paladin, okay, like super rules oriented, and he didn't he detected me as evil, and he didn't immediately fucking freak the fuck
automatically.
out. Yes, and that's what I really appreciate that, especially as a new player, because many people do, and it'll just be like, oh, I see evil, he's evil, and that's it, and I'm a paladin, and that's it, that. Sorry,
I have to have a reason, because I'm also lawful, and if you're not breaking the law, then I can't really punish you, even if I know that you're evil, so
Yeah,
Just
exactly. It's
keeping an
just
eye
such
on
a
ya.
it's such a trap that new players especially fall into, that it's
Mhm.
refreshing to have somebody come into it that I feel like you really did do your research and you really
Oh,
thought about your
absolutely.
character, because
Look,
you're not
dude, if
falling
if
into those because you're thinking for your character, you know.
If
not
I
just,
try to push you away too, how am I going to keep my eye on you? I'm going to
Yeah.
use
You gotta keep your enemies close.
I'm going to
Yeah.
use you
Oh,
and
yeah.
keep my eye on you to make sure you're
Mhm.
not fucking up.
There we go.
Right?
Yeah.
Right. There's following the rules, and then there's keeping within the rules to have a great story.
But thank
Yeah.
you. I'm
No,
trying. I'm
you're-
really into it.
You're doing great.
You're amazing.
Yeah, you're doing
I
great.
have
man.
all these notes.
You found your niche.
A paladin with a little nuance is refreshing.
Yeah, it is. I think everybody is bringing something different to the role as well. You're sort of defeating this stereotype that falls around every class, and that's important. You're quite literally breathing new life into something that's a little dated. Pathfinder First Edition is, I mean, it's not the most current edition, right? And these classes, well, fighter, sorcerer, ranger, they're kind of old. They're kind of old. It's not their first rodeo. So I'm grateful. You know, I'm grateful that you guys are stepping it up, and I'm just excited. That's all. That's all I can
My
really
notes
say.
are 9 pages long at this point.
Yeah, I
Dope!
have.
Jeez.
Oh yeah, I have 3 different, 4 different tabs open. One that is like I'm trying to keep up, like, because I need to develop like things that she does. Like, and I have some like things that she does, but sayings like people. You say we all have expressions we use all the time, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not going to remember that for me and for my character, so I'm going to write that stuff down so I can remember. I have that one. I have my background. I have my weekly notes, and I have my lawful neutral alignment stuff so I can remember. Like, oh, should I do that? Nope. Okay. Nope. Never mind. Okay, good. I'm good. Because I mean, even playing for as long as I've played, sometimes I'm like, wait, is
You
the
guys
You
would
do
have
a
to
great
do a
job.
linguistics check to read my notes because they're in
So I
hieroglyphs,
type-
man.
I have 3 lines.
I'm a typer?
Yeah, I got 3 lines.
I just typed it, yeah. I
Yeah.
do like writing stuff, but
I got the names of the people who I need to turn the thing in for the money.
Probably
So
the
your
amount
notes
of
are each
money.
character.
And I have a
basically.
question that I want to ask Oz, and that's it. That's all I've
Nice.
got right now.
you have a question for us? Oh, I'm
Oh,
excited.
yes.
I'm excited to hear it.
Oh, quite. There were background developments that happened this episode for my character
yeah.
that have some huge ramifications for how he feels about you guys in the party. Just throwing that out there.
Oh.
So
Make money? Oz? Question mark? Kill dog? Profit? Pretty much. All right, folks. I'm gonna go ahead and give all of our players the outro that they deserve. To be honest, if you're not following them, make sure you do as such. And we're gonna start with our man Cobalt. Tell us about you, boss. What are you doing? Where can we find you?
What's up? I'm CobaltStreak. I'm on Twitch and Twitter and YouTube. I stream every day. Well, I stream 5 to 6 times a week, starting at 5 p.m. Usually go till about 11. I play indie stuff, roguelikes, just whatever's fun. Honestly, we just have fun. And I'm happy to be here. Thanks for inviting me again. I'm having a blast.
Perfect. And you're more than welcome, dude. Next, we've got Imperial. Tell us about you, Misty. What are you doing? Where can we find you?
You find me at twitch.tv/Imperial or on Twitter or any other social media at Imperial Girl, because that's who I used to be. I'm almost ready to sew again, and I'm flippin' excited because I love when people are like, sewing's not something you do on Twitch. Watch me do it. But I'm also playing a lot of Rust right now because I'm super obsessed. It was the first game I ever streamed, so it's
It's
great.
who you used to be, but it's not who you are now.
For true.
I don't know. I'm a complex, nuanced being.
Okay.
I can be in both states at once. I'm not really. So yeah, that's where you can find me, and sub to Bub. Thanks.
Oh, thank you so much. Next, we've got Wyld. Tell us about you, boss. What are you doing? Where can we find you?
I'm Wyld. I am in fact 3 cats in a trench coat. I do a large amount of Minecraft. Well, at least it used to, but now I think I'm a Ellohime streamer because oh my god, that game. So if you want to catch that, oh, it's amazing.
I want to try
everyone's
it.
going nuts about it.
Oh, yeah.
So good. It's the most relaxed survival game I think I ever played. It's
Wait,
fantastic.
did you say survival?
Relaxed
game?
and
Okay.
survival.
Relaxed
I
and
know. I'm like,
survival.
wait, hold on, Google.
It's the new
And it's
Rust.
Vikings.
It's crazy. It's great.
Excellent. Excellent. Make sure you guys pop over and follow them. Next, we've got Maggie. What you doing, Maggie? Where can we find you?
Hey everybody, if you want to come see me and my Pecker, you can go over to @MargaretKrohn and all of the places where I don't talk about my Pecker or show my Pecker. No, I'm just kidding. I do.
Oh man.
Sorry.
I'd
But
buy
you can
that
find
for
me
$1.
at Margaret. You can find me at Margaret. The only. What? Only Clucks? I don't know. Anyways, like, OnlyFans, I was trying to play out that. It didn't go well. It was a bad joke. Throw it out the window. So yeah, you can find me at MargaretKrohn and all the places I let you know whenever I'm live. I do lots of things on lots of channels. I'm on a lot of tabletop RPGs. I might have an addiction. It's fine. I'm completely sane. I'm not in 7 a week anymore. So, that's good. I do a lot of stuff on all kinds of channels, so check that out. And of course, if you want to check out what I do for my day job, I do make video games for a living. So you can check out my current project, which is Ashes of Creation, in all of the places.
Amazing.
And thank you, Bub, again for inviting me. I've been having a lot of fun with this. This crew is just amazing. So definitely follow everybody and sub to Bub because we clearly need those rerolls.
Yeah, no kidding.
Thank you
I
guys for
won't
bringing the
waste
thunder.
them, I swear.
Look, those were not wasted at all. Those were imperative, man. You actually
You roll them on
You
what your
shook.
character would roll them
Yeah.
on, man.
you shook her. I'm glad that she used those in those spots. It was very, very good stuff. Hello. Tell us about you, boss. What are you doing? Where can we find you?
My handle is Ellohime. Hello, everybody. I stream variety. Right now, I'm doing a Kenshi. If you guys don't know what Kenshi is, it's going to sound weird. Kenshi torso solo run right now. Basically, it's like a Pickle Rick run. I start with nothing, not even arms and legs, and eventually I crawl my ass around the desert and scavenge until I can manage my way through my life. And that's what the playthrough is right now. And otherwise, that I'm playing some
Where
Escape
did you
from
find
Tarkov.
a game about my life?
Yeah, right. It's been a weird run. It's a super weird run, but it's been a lot of fun. So I'm doing that in Escape from Tarkov. I'm a variety streamer. If you guys want to find me, I'm sure you can. Just look up my name. All my information's there. I'm not gonna bother you with that. Also, remember, guys, that Bub works very, very hard on this show every week, and he puts it all together. He's the man, makes it happen. So show some love to him, and I'll leave it over to Bub.
Thank you guys so much. That leaves me. I'm Bub. I'm doing things here on this channel. Telling stories, playing games, oftentimes poorly, and more often not being the butt of the joke, which is fine. This is fine. I'm used to it. But tonight, I'm running Haunting of Harrowstone. Tomorrow, I'm running Shackled City. That game has been going on for nearly 200 sessions, and we will be returning to it for the first time since the holidays. And we'll probably do a large-scale redux of what's kind of happened. We're going to talk about some of those events. And, well, you can see my crew of friends that we have dubbed the Bumblefucks. Hopefully not murder hobo their way through everything, because they're both the best and the worst players at everything. And more often than not, they ask themselves at the end of every session, are we the baddies? Are we the baddies? I think we're the baddies.
Oz will join your party. It's fine.
Perfect. I could also be found on Saturdays over on Roll For It, where I pilot a Nosferatu named Ollie as a VTM experience. And additionally, I do a VTM podcast where I perform as Duke of Entru with a bit of a storied past surviving in modern New York. You can also find me on Twitter, Instagram, Discord, and all that jazz. Come find me in all those places. And with that, I bid you guys adieu. Have a good evening. Take care of yourselves, and we'll catch you tomorrow.
Bye.
Peace.